G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a one-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner. A stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Well, g'day footy fans and welcome to Goodwood Oval for round 17 of the Buddy Bet Division 1 season. With just 2 rounds left before the finals begin, we bring you 2 of the league's powerhouse teams. One who's been in the top 3 almost all of this season, another who after a slow start has only just arrived. 2 teams with recent premiership success. 2 teams well aware that to win it, you have to finish with a double chance. Thanks to all those that helped bring this game to you, the Banner Crew, Buddy Bet, Sip and Save, Wakefield Sports Clinic, Sportal, Police Credit Union, O'Connell Meat Central Market, Simon Black Academy, Roller Dice Racing, Archers Footwear, New Balance, Powerade, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, CMAX Clinical Research and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the 2020 Premiers, the Goodwood Saints, hosting the 2021 Premiers, Prince Alfred, Old Collegians. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Well, g'day footy fans, you're looking live at the Goodwood Oval as Prince Alfred Old Collegians hit the field for the A-grade game, the Buddy Bet Division 1. They're taking on the Goodwood Saints. It's 2nd versus 3rd here on Filming Footy Matchday Live. Phil Hurton with you this afternoon in the luxurious Goodwood Football Club boardroom, aka Media Centre that we hijack every time we're here. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sean Jacko Jackson. Jacko, welcome to the Mudflats here at Goodwood.
Thank you, Phil, and good afternoon, viewers. You're a bit flat, Phil. You're as flat as a bush biscuit at the moment, mate. I need you up a little bit. I know
Up a little bit?
You're a bit worried about the surface. I can understand that. It
Aye.
is sloppy here, and we aren't expecting this to be the greatest showpiece of Australian rules football. But we, as broadcasters, have to try and make it sound more exciting than it may possibly be.
Well, I'm looking forward to the slip and slide that's going to occur. I hope that's exciting enough for you, Jacko. It's going to occur down the southern end.
Yes.
There's a big puddle about 3 or 4 metres across. And
Why the big race? Does anyone know? Do you know what's going on here?
Not quite sure.
So
I think this might be with the passing of Tiny here at Goodwood Saints. There might be a mark of respect. I would consider. Don't think there's anybody with a massive milestone this afternoon.
yeah, well, the captain is Ben Holzbauer is playing his 150th, but you wouldn't have a
Not quite for a 150.
no, you wouldn't have a guard of honour. You do that at the end of the game, so you might be right, Phil. For the listeners or viewers at home, you may not be aware that a legend of the Goodwood Saints Football Club, Colin, or Tiny as he was known, Nelson, passed away during the week, and probably one of the more revered football figures across the competition, Phil, isn't he?
Indeed. So Lambo's right in the thick of it, as Lambo often is. He's joined the Guard of Honour, so we'll find out from him a little bit later to confirm all of that. But both teams are out, and looks like we're going to have a moment of silence.
To the umpires, players, staff, volunteers and supporters of the Prince Alfred Old Collegians and the Goodwood Saints Football Club to this very special tribute. Also Gavin Branford, who is the nephew of Colin, is here today as well. The legend of our club sadly passed away on Wednesday, and today we're going to pay our respects to the man and his family. Colin Tiny Nelson was born the 6th of December 1935 at Kings Park and passed away in Kadina on Wednesday the 10th of August. So why Tiny? Colin's father Lawrence was 160 kilograms and was called Tiny, and the nickname was passed on to Colin, however the name did fit. Tiny was 12 years old when he headed out to Goodwood and took on the role of A-grade team manager, and so begins his amazing involvement at the club for 72 years. In 1950, when 15 years old, Colin makes the fatal error of attending the club's AGM and gets nominated onto the committee. He then makes another mistake and attends the Amateur League AGM and gets voted onto the committee. In 1959, he is awarded life membership of the club at 24 years of age. Tiny's filled the roles of president, secretary, treasurer, football director, bar manager, trainer, timekeeper, team manager, goal umpire, boundary umpire, and even worked in the canteen. Colin was also the SA Amateur League team manager, timekeeper, and club delegate, as well as trainer. He's one in a million and officially retired from volunteering at the club in 2018 due to ill health. In 2005, Tiny, along with Hans Ellenbrook, are inaugural inductees into the Goodwood Saints Legends. In 2009, the greatest recognition for Colin is when he's awarded the Medal of Order of Australia for service to AFL football and his development of juniors at the club. In 2014, the City of Unley and the cricket and football clubs named the grandstand the Colin Nelson OAM stand in his honour. But the role that so many associate Tiny with is as the club's timekeeper. He filled this role for many years, sitting up in the grandstand with his blanket over his legs. When the games were tight, many people would call out, "Tiny, how long to go?" And he would normally tell them in an uncertain manner where to go. We will observe a minute's silence in honour of Tiny. If the players could turn and face the scoreboard, there will be a minute video presentation to honour Tiny, with the final siren being sounded, marking the end of Tiny's involvement and the beginning of Tiny's legacy. Thank you. everyone.
Right, that does explain why the reserves game finished a few minutes early to provide that tribute to one of the legends of the Adelaide Footy League and especially the Goodwood Saints.
Yes, well, a marvellous contribution to the game of Australian rules to be recognised with a Order of Australian medal for something like 70 years service is pretty special, isn't it? Never was lucky enough to meet the great Tiny Nelson, but seems like I'm poorer for it, Phil.
Yeah, well, I think you can read a lot into his funeral instructions, not to happen during September, so it doesn't interfere with the team's finals chances.
Well, on a more lighter note, see Lambo out in the middle of the glue pot. How funny would it be? And I'm guessing all the viewers share the same sentiment as I, and that they're hoping Lambo slips over in the mud.
Hoping like that. All right, let's go into this game because it is the match of the round, and there's 2 rounds left to the finals. Let's have a look if we've got it up the ladder for Division 1, and you can see why it's the match of the round. Goody Saints, 11 wins. They've locked in a double chance. Prince Alfred, they've just climbed up the ladder each and every week, but they've got some competition. If they slip up, Glenunga play Old Ignatians, who are 9th today. It could be Glenunga in 3rd spot tonight. So still plenty to play for. St. Peter's yet to lock in a finals berth. Brighton and Tea Tree Gully and Ross Trevor, can you believe it, nipping at the heels, although Saints still have a bit of a percentage advantage. And even relegation, Jacko. We know Payneham are gone, but Old Ignatians must win at Glenunga today. At home against Karen Rolson, and Rocks, Tea Tree Gully and even Brighton not out of jail just yet.
Yeah, on the back of what we've seen this year, nothing could be predicted with any great confidence. I would suggest that for mine the ladder is set, the top 5 is in place. At the bottom end of the table for relegation, which is almost as important in some respects, I'm thinking Old Ignatians fancy their chances against Glenunga today. Now, we called their game last week against Ross Trevor and they weren't in the contest, were they? Ross Trevor probably got the best side they put out of the park last week, and have got them again. So who knows, they could actually beat Port Districts today. That wouldn't overly shock me either.
And Tea Tree Gully are not out of it either. Their percentage is lower than Old Ignatians. And Tea Tree Gully are playing a Payneham side that, whilst relegated, won't be easy beats. In fact, beat Tea Tree Gully when we were there earlier in the year.
Well, I think we've called a couple of Tea Tree Gully games. One was here, actually, when they got pantsed, and we mentioned several times during the broadcast that they didn't do anything different and the game just got away from them. And it was surprising to us that they didn't try and lock it down defensively for a percentage perspective. So I hope for their sake that doesn't come back and bite them on the backside.
Coin toss not too far away. Let's bring up the Goodwood Saints and how they've progressed this year. Look, it's been pretty consistent. They had that 6-game win streak between round 4 and 9 that set them up. They haven't lost 2 games in a row all season. Had a bit of a surprise defeat here against Glenunga 2 weeks ago. Bounced back thumping Tea Tree Gully. They finished with Prince Alfred today at home and Rocks on the road. The top attacking team in the comp. Defence ranked 5th, as we do go down to Lambo.
Give us something, Craig. Fall in the mud, please.
Okay, boys, we're here at Goody Oval today. Muddy conditions all over the ground. The 2 captains are coming in. Cameron Giles from Prince Alfred. Tails it is. Goodies have won the toss. Kicking to your right-hand side, boys. A little bit of breeze out here, favouring the northern end. Your left-hand side, about 2 goals. My predictions: Goodies by 11 points. Big game. They're playing for Colin Tiny Nelson today, and they all want to remember him with a big win today. So all the best today in commentating, boys, and back to you upstairs.
Thanks very much, Lambo. So Goodwood Saints won the toss win against the breeze, according to Lambo. So that's the Goody Saints season, top-ranked attack. Have a look at PAC, and it's almost 2 seasons in one. 3 wins, 6 losses in the first half, but now 4 straight wins. Those margins starting to get bigger. Payneham by 9 goals, Rocks by 76. Last week at Brighton by 9 goals. Just primed up beautifully. They're finished at Park 9 for the year. They finished with 3 road games and look finals bound.
Yeah, they certainly do, Phil. All things point to Prince Alfred being a dominant player in this year's final series for mine. 3 players that I do want to mention quickly that I think will make a massive difference to them that haven't played a lot of footy. Finn Hurd, who's been at Norwood in the reserves for most of the year, only played the 4 games, but which means he's qualified. Norwood reserves look like they won't play finals, so fair chance he may be back in the side as early as next week. Campbell Wildman is playing for Port Magpies today. He also has only played 4 games for PAC this year, but that enables him to qualify. Port Magpies will not be in the finals either, so they would be looking to get him released, I would think. And the other one is Ollie Clark, who's just played the 1 game at the Crows, on the top of 7 games for PAC this year. So they're getting boosted at the right time of the year, and the only one that I can think of for Goodwood Saints is Arian Serene, who is playing for the Port Magpies. Not playing today, he's playing the Port Magpies team. He has qualified, but he's played 11 games. So most of the year, half at least of the year, he's played in the Goodwood Saints side. So, does that have a disruption factor for PAC? Well, only time will tell, Phil. One thing we did forget to mention was Ben Holzbauer, the captain of Goodwood Saints, playing his 150th game today, and he's one of only 4 players in Goodwood Saints history to have played in a C grade, B grade and A grade premiership. So congratulations to Ben. So
well, of course
good achievement.
It is. The last 2 premiers going head to head. Goody Saints in 2020 over Rocks, and Prince Alfred last year over Paynham and Norwood Union. Quick tip, Jacko.
I'm going for PAC by 12 points.
Yeah, Goodwood at home for mine, just to be different. But we're set for the game of the round. It's the Buddy Bet, thanks to our matchday sponsor, the Banner Crew, and a host of others we'll mention through the course of the afternoon. It was the C's, Prince Alfred by 8, the B's, Goodwood Saints pretty comfortably. But here comes your A-grade game, and you're with Sean and Jacko Jackson.
Yeah, I thought Giles might have played in the ruck, but it looks like it's Jordan Neal for PAC, and that's probably why. A beautiful left-hand hit to get things underway, but it's landed in the glue pot. In the end, it's kicked out by Trengo. Goes forward now for PAC. That's Giles there, so it looks like he's lined up forward to start with. Missed a lot of footy this year with injury. They'll be glad to have him back. Valuable player, played on Carlton's list and certainly at Woodville West Torrens as well. Now we're at this side of the oval, and the ball did sit in the mud. The skills are good early. This actually ended up with the coach, Pitty. I think he's going to play on ball a little bit today. He's hooked that one around the corners. Not his finest work. And in best position was Scott Blessing for Goodwood Saints.
So Blessing pretty much in the defensive goal square.
Conditions will suit him, Phil.
Yeah. The reason I'm tipping Goodwood is I was thinking about which team has the better grunt.
Right.
Because I'm not sure
That's
it's going to be a
grunt.
day for skills. We've seen that already.
Yes.
And I'm just reckon that the Goodwood grunt might be a little bit better than PACs, who are maybe a tad more skillful.
Right, so college, you've gone the college wimpy line, have you?
Maybe that. Well, when you see the warm-up tops.
Yes, the white shorts don't inspire a lot of hardness, I concur. But look, first blood will go to PAC, and the Craig Pitt playing up forward's got the first shot on goal for him. We did comment last time we called them against Port Districts about why he was playing himself in the back half where all their talent is, but
yeah, so Petty
not
kicked
today.
14 goals, and then he moved himself up forward, had an impact, but a little bit too late. The kick to the right-hand side stays right. We have a score. It's 1-0, Prince Alfred College.
So early scores are important today, Phil, because the ball will only get heavier as the quarters evolve. I'm not sure whether they've certainly changed the ball at halftime. Whether they'll change it at quarter is an interesting point, and try and find that out. But this ball will certainly get heavier. Scoring will get harder, and the ground will only get worse. So the start's important for both sides. As Blessing now runs under the fall, but it's Trengove again who gives it to McNamara, hooks it around the corner. Goodwood Saints good enough to take that out, although the handball's gone back to McNamara. Now it's with Nick Favoretto, and he pushes the ball out. And conditions can't be too bad today, Phil, because our favourite little hill, the Adelaide Footy League, has a few Warriors and Soldiers watching the game today.
Yeah, look, I think for spectators it's not too bad, although the wind is starting to pick up. It's just the fact that we've had a week's worth of rain especially overnight, and for the players, the place is just a mud pit. In many places. Long kick though, and we maybe saw a little bit of the breeze there. That carried a long way.
Yes, it looks like Tommy Carter in the ruck for Goodwood Saints is pushing deep into defence to help out there, and Giles takes the ruck work there for PAC, and Jordan Hill sits back a kick back
and
line
there
to
is
play.
one loose Prince's defender. That is Adam Perryman at the moment, heading in his general direction. He's there at the front of the pack. Gets the footy now, set upon instantly.
Game where you'd expect Jolly for PAC to have a fairly significant influence as well, Phil.
Every time I watch him play, he generally gets in the game at some point. Carter, the tap down for the Saints. Looked to be a high tackle there, holding the ball, high tackle.
Good tackle by
Says
Jolly, actually.
neither. Very quickly, our umpiring crew. We've got Matt Harris and Tony Simons, the field umpires. Sam Scarman and James Haskard, the boundary. Chris Addy and James Turner, the goal umpires today.
Did go through the the Prince Alfred Old Collegians list before the game, Phil. We identified at least 12 players playing today that had significant SANFL or higher experience.
Well, significant enough for us to remember anyway.
Yeah. So that suggests to me that talent-wise, this list, we spoke about it last year being clearly above everyone else. Well, it looks like it's gathering momentum at the right time again. Now Goodwood Saints go into attack, though, through Blessing. It's in the top of the square. If they can hack it off the ground, I think it was Lauby that had a crack at it. He just missed it. Played really well last time we saw them play, Sam Lauby. He's a bit of a lively character, isn't
like one of my golf shots in the water hazard. Nothing happened.
Yeah, Will Clark looks like he's playing full forward. So the structure is fairly similar to last time we saw Saints players. Out the back now with McNamara. If he can't take it cleanly, he's seized upon by Goodwood Saints, and they'll end up getting a free kick here.
Runner.
Yeah, and it's Big Angus Runner, or as he's known at Goodwood Saints, the Silent G.
Okay. Okay. He's kicked 18 goals. Let's move right away from that one. And we'll get a bit of an idea, Jack, about the breeze right here.
I think he'd make the distance, Phil.
Comes in.
The Silent G. He's nailed it.
First goal of the game goes the way of the Goody Saints. His 19th for the year. He's one of actually quite a few. There's 8 Goodwood Saints players. If Princes have the talent, Goodwood Saints have the stability. They've got 8 players that have played all 16 games thus far, coming into today's 17th. So
Yeah, that's
a
great
well-oiled unit. And Ryan has certainly been key to that. And the goals spread pretty well. He's kicked 19 now. Tommy Anderson has kicked 20. Their leader is Nick Burgess with 30.
Yeah, Carter gets first hand on this one as the ball comes again forward for Goodwood Saints. It's Perryman in good position for PAC. He's seized upon. Ball spills out the back now. Players trying to hack the ball off the ground. I think that's going to be a pretty valuable tactic. Tom Anderson out the back in good position, gets it around the corner. But, gee, Lambo mentioned before the game, I don't normally take a lot of what he says on face value, Lambo, but he says when Will Dowwood plays for PAC, they look a very good side, and that was a good indication of that. Although the kick has been intercepted by Ben Holzbauer. He goes forward now, looking for Clark. He can't take it. PAC through Chris Curran. Some say he's the best player in our competition this year, Phil. Well, interesting to see the medal count not far away. Can he win the medal?
Oh, no, he's a defender.
Yeah, defenders
When's the
don't win
last
medals.
time a defender won a medal anywhere? It's not just an Adelaide Footy League thing.
Well, interesting. You see the way he's set up at the stoppage here. Both him and Dowd, key position players, are sitting off the stoppage inside their back 50 without an opponent. That is bizarre to me. Neil it is who slaps it forward. Goodwood Saints in best position. Favretto around the corner. Going to say that a bit today. Good contest in the air. No one able to crumb it cleanly. Good tackle. And
This has actually been a bit better standard than I was fearing when I rocked up today.
well, one thing with the conditions, you know you can attack the ball and the ball's always going to stay true today. So players who don't body line the ball or rake
You're
get
not going to have an
exposed.
issue with bad bounces because
No.
it just ain't going to bounce.
That's right. So keep your body in line. That's the secret in playing wet weather footy. Angus Rana taps it.
Is at the bottom of that.
And, well, as you mentioned before, that'll be Tony Simons coming in to do the umpiring with a beautiful throw too.
Darwood with the tap. It's been in this forward 50 for Goodwood for a little while. Haven't been rewarded. Darwood's got the clearance into open space. Now it's a race for it. This looks like Whitelock who's there first. I recognise him fairly easily. Hand pass across. Now we've got Anderson. Has Slate, Josh Slate, wide if he wants, goes further. I want someone to aim straight for that puddle, but no one's done it as yet. Instead it's at ground level. Ollie Johnson, umpire, comes in and says it's going to be a ball. The ground is bathed in sunshine, just a slight breeze, which Lambo tells us favouring the left of screen. Goodwood won the toss and are kicking to the right of screen.
So they might know something that Lambo doesn't know, but that's...
Yeah, I haven't seen the wind affect any of the rare number of kicks we've seen so far.
Yeah, Curran came out and met that ball heavily. Wasn't able to take it cleanly again. It's Goodwood Saints, courtesy of Levi Elms pushing it forward. The umpire has found a free kick, though. It's gone to PAC. And they're trapped just outside their back 50. Now they go long. Looking for Giles, who wasn't out, and lots of numbers in favour of Goodwood Saints here. They can raffle it, kicking it and conceding 40 metres. I don't think you want to be doing that too often today. They go to Josh Slate now. They transfer the play nicely out the far side. Back into the corridor now for Nick Favretto. It's a nice transition of play. And confident on a sloppy deck. And that has been well marked by Kyle Kirk. Terrific mark for a little fella, isn't he?
He's been known to clunk him well. And then lets us all down. One highlight, one low light.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
Chris
first
Curran.
player we struggle to recognise because the numbers mudded out is Chris Curran.
Yeah. Yeah, so he might struggle to get votes today, Phil. Is that what you're
it.
saying? That's where you've got to be in the umpire. Give the ball back to the umpire. Thank you, sir.
Name's Curran, number 6.
He's an experienced player. He'll know how to talk to the umpires.
He's got the medal that really counts, and that's the Sandford Premiership one.
So we're 10 minutes in. Only one goal to Goodwood Saints and 1 point to Prince Alfred. So we expect this to be a low-scoring affair. And that is the way it is panning out. Will only get worse. Favretto hacks it forward for Goodwood Saints. No Favretto here. Kyle Kirk. Can we get it out to Burgess?
He was the man to get the hand pass from Favretto. And just as Favretto was releasing it, Lauby slipped over in the mud. So
Lauby it was, yes.
Long stops. Think of the past, because they'd be pretty handy today.
Yep, if you're playing today in Moulded Souls, you are kidding yourself. It'll be interesting to see who slips and who doesn't with the comfort boots on. Pressure very good from Goodwood Saints early, Phil.
Yeah, they've set it up. I mean, we've had one in. Prince Alfred had it first couple of minutes inside 50, and now it's been down Goodwood's end, and I think it's going to be that kind of game where defensive tactics come to the fore. The throw in half forward flank for Goodwood. We currently lead by the 5 points. Coach Pitt tackled by Holzbauer in a little muddy circle there on the outer side under the gum trees. We'll go again.
So interesting, Tommy Anderson this side of the ground trying to draw Curran out of the play, and Curran's not going to him. Too experienced to be drawn out like that. So it suggests to me that Curran is playing wing rather than half back, because Anderson looks like he's set up on the wing. So we'll watch that duel with interest. Certainly both have had a bit of the footy early.
Trying to do 2 jobs at once. And Curran's not even looking at Anderson.
No. You get away with those tactics, I reckon, on a ground like today's. Not sure you would on a dry deck. But how many more dry decks will we get this year? Now PAC come away. They go to half forward, looking for the veteran, Tommy Bartlett. Oh, he kicks it off. He's off his toes. Didn't want to bend down and dirty his white shorts. Mrs. Bartlett agreed to let Tommy come back and play on the one condition he doesn't get his shorts dirty. And I bet you anything, Phil. Buddy bet. Tom's shorts are still white at the end of the day.
Donut, by the way.
Yes. Did you win that bet?
I did.
Yes.
Chocolate, please. As yeah, it's half mud wrestling, half football at the moment. As Cam Giles is introduced to the
Got one
Goodwood
player
Oval
down.
face first.
now.
Lots of players as expected around the ball. Dowwood looks to be... No, it is Chris Curran, the loose player in defence. So where's the loose Goody Saint? Somewhere in the contest, you'd assume.
It's the wingman again, Tom Anderson. So
Oh, Tom Anderson, of course, the man
one.
who has a wing all to himself. Meanwhile, it's 2-on-1 Princes. Not a bad kick for touch, to be honest, because Prince Alfred had the numbers. And by the rules of the Adelaide Footy League, that is a throw-in.
Yeah, he's been picked up by Oscar Clark now, but it looks like he's trying to get off him a bit too. So they're trying to work out who's standing him. Now Lockie McNamara goes to Tom Anderson. This time Goodwood Saints, PAC come away with it. Nice effort at half forward there. Couldn't take it. Tommy Lynch was there, as was Hugo Kelly back into the side. Been missing for a few weeks, I think, Hugo.
Mitch Larson has it. He just came on the field off the interchange bench. Taking it to the centre screen to the mud pit, and it's all about keeping your feet. And is that Trengo?
Yeah, it's Trengo. You know what that's about, Phil? That's about one bloke keeping his eye on the ball, and that's Trengo, because anything can happen, and that pass certainly wasn't meant for him.
It wasn't, yeah.
He's just a half a step in front of his opponent. He had his eye on the ball watching where his opponent wasn't. So a good learning curve there for the Goodwood Saints defender. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but have a look at that in the replay. You learn a lot off that vision.
So Trengo, one of the best players last week. No surprise there, the win over Brighton. Kicked a goal. He's had 10 for the season from 40 metres out. Doesn't get the distance. Probably says how heavy that ball is starting to get now, 15 minutes into the quarter.
Yeah, the difficulty is kicking out of, or kicking when you have to run through the slop. So the ideal position for both ends of the ground today is to actually lead wide onto the boundary. You're going to get far better purchase on your run-up.
As strange as it seems, even though the angle is higher, your percentage is better. As we will go down to Lambo in just a tick. Maybe right now, Lambo is there.
Boys, Cameron Joel just came off to get his hand looked at, so just that's the only thing on the injury at the moment. But muddy conditions down here, mate, and yeah, back to you, boys.
All right, nice intercept mark by Reece Slate. We've come to expect that from him. Played some footy with South Adelaide early in the year, and I would say to be relieved to have him back.
They haven't been the same without him.
No. So Blessing now goes into the middle of the ground for Mason Ellis. Now Tom Anderson, look at the room he's got. So I think they need to look at that PAC. He goes around the corner. There's his direct opponent coming at the ball now, I think. It is in Chris Curran. It also looks like he now might have shifted on to Nick Burgess, which will be a good match-up in itself. Burgess, almost the barometer for the front half of the ground for Goodwood Saints. He's a real terrier, in and out, in and under type of player.
So Neil tries to work around Carter. Carter held his ground pretty well. The clearance from Spoon to Scara. High kick, 30 metres out, at ground level. Perryman is there for Princes. Beautiful pick-up, swoop, turn and kick by Oscar Clark. His kick intended for Buckham goes through some hands. He was interfered with on the way to get the free. Looking to play on pretty quickly. Trengove again. This time he's in a grassed area. Too far out to score, you would think. So he wheels around into that green pocket in the tennis club side, but only picks up Tommy Lynch of the Goodwood Saints.
Yeah, he's played a few games now for Goodwood Saints after spending a bit of his early days at West Adelaide playing reserves footy. I think he quite cracked it for a game, Tommy, but was thereabouts for a few years, and once again, a very important player in Goodwood Saints structure. He is the Will Dowwood of Goodwood Saints. So now Chris Curran has it. It was a direct one-on-one with Burgess. He goes long, looking for that green grass of home. Favretto, I beg your pardon, Blessing has had a really good start to this game. This ball's gone to the front of the pack though, and PAC a genuine chance here. I think they've nailed it. Is that Sam Buckham? Yeah. So Sam Buckham kicks his first for the game, and PAC's first.
Let's go to Craig Lambert.
Oh, Giles is in a fair bit of pain down here. He's had his fingers strapped, but he's ready to come back on. But we'll see how he goes, boys. Back to you.
If have bad luck, he'd be having no luck whatsoever with the injuries.
Cam Giles. Yeah. Important player. In saying that, Jordan Neal's done a terrific job. And in fact, playing in the ruck today is a good sign of confidence in him, isn't it?
So 1 goal apiece. Princes with a couple of behinds for the 2-point lead. Taking on a couple of defenders. I'm not
It should be holding the ball.
sure why that wasn't holding the ball, because I do believe I saw prior opportunity.
Yes, indeed. Very, very lucky there, Jacob Heitman. He played well last time we saw him. He's followed his work up there, kicks it around the corner. Big pack forming. No one able to take the ball, spills forward. Once again, players screaming for holding the ball. One thing you'll notice today, Phil, is the players have got a little bit of composure that can straighten up and still kick a drop punt. The tendency is on a day like today just to lay the ball across your boot and hack it around the corner. The good players still understand it's much easier to mark if you kick a drop punt, and we saw that earlier with Perryman as he came out of the back half. So watch for that with interest. Carter lays the ball back. Now Holzbauer. There's that kick I'm talking of around the corner. Burgess has marked it. It's actually a free kick for down the ground, I think. Although, no, he's brought it back. So it's actually penalised Goodwood Saints there. Burgess would be filthy, and I have no doubt Luke Donaldson would be filthy on that. So Jacob Heitman, he has Benny Holzbauer on the outside. Oh, almost messed it up. That's not bad off the boot, though, is it? Oh, and he's 150th. Just missed.
And he had it all set up. He was in front of the barbecue van.
Yeah.
He was ready for the crowd salute.
He's going to run off and get a sausage, was he?
That's it. You can sort of see it set up because Heitman came very close to the mark without showing any sign of kicking it. I think they got Jolly doing the kick-outs. That's a pretty smart move.
Not a bad idea on the day.
He's one of the best disposers. It comes to Heitman. His kick around the body. Bounce is going to be interesting.
Wow, that's a real good purchase. He was outside 50 there. No one in the goal square, but it was a good kick.
So I reckon we've got ourselves a tied ball game. 1 goal, 2 apiece. We're into time on. 20 minutes gone. Nothing separating these top 3 sides.
Well, one of the best kicks in the competition has kicked it out on the fall. You won't see that too often. Jolly and Goodwood Saints bring it back in. Curran flies at it, can't take it.
Now, Jolly kicked it in.
Yep.
And it was returned for a behind. So why have Goodwood only got 1 behind on the score?
You keep your eye on that, Phil. I'll keep my eye on the score, on the play, I should say. Carter hits it into the corridor. Good idea. No one can take it. Plenty of dirty knees already in this game. Been impressed with the skill rate, as you mentioned a few times. Jolly, good tackle there. Has some players on this side of the ground if he looks up quickly.
Yeah, not in that pocket, not today, I think.
Yeah, switches of play will be extremely... That's Giles flying for the ball there with the sore hand that Lambo spoke about. Does look like he's holding his right hand a little bit.
Well, good that he's out there trying to shake it off.
Yep.
Let's see how long he can stay out there. As the umpire just brushing the football against the grass to get some of the excess mud and moisture off. 21 and a quarter minutes gone. Goodwood, a good clearance. Quick kick inside 50. Darwood at the back. Oh, here's a quick snap around the body. Burgess is lurking. He's very dangerous in these circumstances. But in the end, I reckon that was Pat Singleton.
Yeah, he did it well.
It is Singleton, not Singleton. Yeah, whatever I typed. Must have been late last night.
Simgleton.
Yeah, not my best typing last night, actually. That's another behind. So I've got Goodwood in front by a point. The scoreboard's got a tied game. We'll sort that out with the goal umpires at quarter time.
So Trengove doing this kicking now. He goes out the same side that Jolly did. Difference is he keeps it inboard. Problem for them is it's marked by Nick Favretto for Goodwood Saints, so he brings it back from whence it came. Oh, plenty of numbers up at the contest, but standing his ground, I reckon that is Curran, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, geez. You can see why he's been such a good player. Fantastic pickup. Goes long now, back down that same side. Goodwood Saints got all the answers behind the play. So their defensive setup is good behind the ball, Goodwood Saints. Just need to nail this part of it, this forward entry. And here's an opportunity just for Tommy Anderson. Gee, he's had a good start to the game. He's played both sides of the ground. That's his first, but that's Goodwood Saints' second. And they look up and about today for the big tiny Nelson, don't they?
They do, and it's been an interesting game where Goodwood have been this quarter, even though it's not a major difference in the scoring. I think 65% of the plays probably being Goodwood's forward third of the ground. They've been better at being able to bottle it up.
Yep.
And to take those kick-outs and rebound pretty strongly. Princes have had their moments, but a handy goal, because I don't reckon this is going to be a particularly long quarter with just the 3 goals kicked.
Well, I'd suggest to you that defensively PAC have been pretty solid given the amount of forward entry ball Goodwood Saints have had. So change in the ruck for Goodwood Saints now, up against Jordan Neal. I think that is it Rana? No? Yes, it is Rana. So he stops it to the inside. No one able to take it cleanly. Every player's not afraid to kick the ball off the ground today, and it's a good tactic. Now Goodwood Saints have it around the corner.
It's a good try.
Wowie. Mackenzie Slee's got about 3 or 4 kicks there that none of them hit the ball, and it ends up beautifully with Levi Elms. Should have got a free kick there. They did. Goodwood, just trying to work out who that is. I reckon it might be Will Clark. Yes, it is. So good kick from Levi Elms. Was able to lower the eyes and hit the target. And Will Clark's an interesting figure. We called him last time we watched Goodwood Saints, and I think he kicked 4 goals that game. And not an overly imposing figure, but got good craft, good forward craft. Seems to know where to lead, and nice pair of hands. And well, he'll be kicking from green grass, so that's one thing in his favour here. It'll only be about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Camera in really good position. You steer it and watch it from home, folks. And unfortunately, he left it right of the post, and it didn't deviate at all with either the wind or with the kick. And for those at home, no long right foot kick should generally aim for the right post, because the natural arc of the ball will bring it right to the left, but not on that occasion, Phil.
Not then. Clark 17 goals in the A's. He also played a few B-grade games. He was sort of a fringe player last year, much more of a regular in the Saints lineup this year. So again, Goodwood, Levi Elms here at the Halsbury, who's been busy in that pocket. Across to Kyle Kirk, centres the ball, off hands, another behind. They are peppering the Goodwood Saints at the moment. I've got them at 2-5-17. A game-high 9-point lead. Prince is 1-2-8. Prince Alfred cannot find a way out of the defensive third for Goodwood. They're not going to get out this occasion. Off hands, throw in front of the hockey club grandstand.
Yeah, they really need to have a look at what they're doing as they're coming out of D50 PAC, because as you're rightly called, Phil, they struggle to make any ground at all. As Goodwood Saints go forward again, deep inside the forward pocket. Looked like Burgess in good position there, but unable to take it cleanly. So we'll have a boundary throw-in. Good opportunity here for Goodwood Saints to put another goal on the board. Let's have a look and see whether they're doing anything special behind the ball. All players set up defensively well. They win the tap. They win the first clearance. They get the second kick through Favretto, although the umpire, Matty Harris, has paid a free kick to Craig Pitt, I think.
So their chance now to break out of this siege that the Saints have laid in the last 10 minutes or so. Trailing by 8. Pitt goes with a long raking kick towards the outer boundary line. Just a soccer forward. Good pick up, Favretto on the reception to Bleasing. And the body kick back from whence it came, and a good mark. So I like the way they're gelling well, the Saints.
Whitelock, Tirana, experienced players, both of them.
This is running now with the kick, looking for Favretto. Got a few in maroon to beat. Princes have the numbers, get the hand pass and quick kick away off the outside of the boot, but straight down the throat of the Saints defender.
Well, that's the kick I'm talking about, Phil. He had a bit more time to get composed and was just happy to lay the ball across his boot and kick a snap kick. Very difficult to keep that on line. So it might be just something to talk about, the players at quarter time. Sometimes you have more time than you think, and you can still straighten up, kick a drop punt. Might be old-fashioned, but
It's an old-fashioned kind of football day.
It is indeed. So Rana first hands on this one. Drops straight down. Plenty of players around this ball. Matty Harris says, I'll have a crack at this. See if we can clear it. So a bit of green grass there for the players to get traction on. As the siren sounds, and Goodwood Saints, well, for me, they were the clear dominant side for that first quarter. 2 goals, 4 to Prince Alfred, 1 goal, 2. Margin of 8 points, but if this was a dry day, that would have been a 3-4 goal margin at quarter time. It's not a dry day, so scores will be at a premium today, Phil.
Indeed. We'll take a break, be back to confirm the score, hopefully get some updates around the grounds, and Lambo's updates from the huddle. You're with Phil Hurd and Sean Jackson. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
Oh, pump it up, Phil.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome back, quarter time here at the Goodwood Oval, Buddy Bet Division 1, round 17. Goody Saints, and I was right, scoreboard had Dr. McPoint, 25-17, our producer was on top of it all. Prince Alfred 1-2-8, a 9-point lead. We're going to go to Lambo in a sec. Just some quick scores around. Actually, we are going to go to Lambo. If he looks up.
Yeah.
Right now.
Boys, what a great game of footy so far. Our first quarter was excellent. Goody Saints attack at ground level was better and they're more aggressive, what I saw from down here. And what Luke liked was the scoreboard pressure. It was really good. He feels the mids are on top at the moment and they're ticking all the KPIs. Whereas Prince at the moment, their kicking can be a lot better. They've got to work hard to find space more. And Craig Pitt's not happy with their work rate at the moment, and give the first one back up more, but they've got to work hard around the stoppages. That's the difference there. But overall, sun's out, which is great. Still muddy. Great game of footy at the moment, and this is what footy's all about. Keep the good work up, boys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Lambo. Some quick scores around the Buddy Bet Division 1. St Peter's, who need a win, leading Brighton at home by 17 points, 19-2. Top versus 8th, Port District lead Ross Trevor by 2 goals, 3-1 in the goal department. Glenunga, Prince Alfred's threat lead Old Ignatians 30-7, 5 goals straight to 1-1. So if that holds and Princes lose here, Glenunga would be in 3rd spot tonight. Second quarter, you're with Sean Jackson.
You are indeed. Carter stands under the footy, punches it forward. Not a bad tactic. Burgess around the corner. Copped some pretty heavy attention from Mackenzie Slee. Didn't worry Nick Burgess. In fact, I think he probably loves that sort of stuff, and this is a day for him. Ball's now gone under the gum tree or pepper tree, or what is that? That tree, that beautiful looking tree there on the hill. We'll have a boundary throw in.
They lost me at botany when they started chopping up dead frogs.
So this day's all one-on-one behind the footy here. So let's see if Goodwood Saints' defence behind the ball can hold up again. They do. Holsbow around the corner with the left foot. Goodwood Saints through Jolly now, but I think it was Curran initially. Interesting enough, watch the assistant coach talk to the playing coach at the PAC at quarter time. Looked like he was concerned about their tackles not sticking, the boys not getting in, so we'll see if there's a change in that direction for Prince Alfred. We're out on the wing now.
And it was with Neild, went to Curran, Buckham. They've moved it forward here, Prince Alfred, so they've managed to find a way to get away, to break that siege.
That was rugby style, wasn't it?
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective. And that, I think, is the methodology you're going to have to use to win today.
So you used to do your work back in the nightclubs in the day, Phil. Wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
Oh, no, I can't say it was particularly effective, at least in the nightclub days. All right, Howard Favoretto. Couple of sockers off the ground, ends up a free kick, and now Princes are away. First inside 50 of the quarter for them, through a couple of Goodwood defenders' hands. There's one player there that's picked it up and has been tackled straight away.
Reece Slate put a saddle on him, didn't he?
Did indeed. Is that Bartlett back?
Bartlett is there. He's still short, in pristine condition.
Yeah, Bartlett's got the long sleeve. There he is. Does the dummy step. The kick. And some mark on the goal line to Oscar Clark. Tommy Bartlett, welcome back. How is that the poise of just the dummy step?
Yeah, you won't want to see too many of those today on a sloppy deck, but
you're more likely to end up doing that and ending up in the mud yourself, aren't you?
Correct.
But beautifully executed. Clark kicks the goal, his 13th of the season, and Prince Alfred respond back to a 3-point ball game.
I'm not sure what Tommy Bartlett's doing back at, to be honest with you. He started the year in the C grade and probably got away with no pre-season, and maybe it was part of the master plan. Tommy, very smart man.
Well, we look at where Princes do struggle, and it probably has been for forward targets with no Bartlett or Brazel this year. I know Brazel kicked 3 goals for North Adelaide.
Yeah, going right in the North League side.
He's settling in, and the Roosters will definitely, you think, go deep in the Sandful finals. So, yeah, that's left a hole in Prince's forward line, so bring back the old man, so to speak.
So Pitt, Jolly and Trengove, along with Neil in the middle for PAC, doesn't get any better than that. There's a lot of SANFL experience there, but in the end, Goodwood Saints win the clearance. So go figure. And wow, and Goodwood Saints has just gone straight in. That was Burgess, straight into the head of Craig Pitt. Didn't injure him, thank God, but it didn't look good initially. But Pitt, as I said, playing on the ball. Bit of a different role for him today for PAC. Goes now to half forward. Tommy Lynch perhaps could have marked it, but the umpire's blown the whistle, and he's seen fit to give Reece Slate a free kick. He now lowers his eyes. Did try and kick a drop pump, which I like, but Sam Buckham was in good position, ex-Norwood footballer, trying to wipe the mud out of his eyes. Not sure where to go. Ends up going real short. Will that be long enough? The umpire says yes. Oscar Clark starting to work his way into the game. He goes a little bit longer, out to the green grass. Good plan. Ball spills to the front, and in the end, screaming for a free kick, the was the crowd. And, well, tell you what, you scream loud enough sometimes.
Home boundary decision, you reckon there may be, Jacko?
I think so, because Heitman got the free. He went to Carter, but what about the chase?
Yeah, well done.
That was a terrific chase. Hugo Kelly, and tackle and free kick, and now on green grass, and he shut everyone else down. He said, don't worry about it, boys. Watch me. I'll show you how it's done.
Well, from that distance, on that kind of surface, this is a very gettable goal, so why not?
Well, he's had 3 pirouettes walking back. I don't think he's had any intention of anything but kicking the goal and putting his side in front. If he kicks this, it'll be a good start to the quarter for the Princes. So on the green grass, the big Hugo. Well, he knew what he was doing, and he celebrates with the best of them. And that's as good as I've seen. Lambo wants to throw something at us. Let's go to Lambo.
Jacko and Phil, terrific start from Prince Alfred this quarter, exactly what they wanted. Get in there harder, get the ball on quick, create space, turnover, goal. Back to you, boys.
Terrific. The word is actually terrific. He butchers the English language at
One
times,
day, actually, no, we did it in round 1, didn't we? Because Lambo wasn't here. We got you to do the banjo rider after the game. Remember, after the game, we got you to get the interviews for the prizes afterwards. And how many interviews did we end up doing?
None, probably. It was a terrific day for me, though.
They went straight past you.
No, I had a terrific day.
All right, we're back in the middle. Rucks go to it again. Neil, he's giving Carter more than he can handle at the moment, but it goes to Anderson. Anderson's kick. Heitman waits for the ball just to stop for him. Stops over to go chase it, I guess. Holtzbauer gets the hand pass. The kick around the body is high. Almost found a target. Out of bounds on the full. It is, though, and should be a Prince's ball.
Gee, I like Heitman. Phil, covers the ground beautifully.
Yep.
Reminds me of a next South Adelaide player who spent some time here. This was the old Goodwood Saints people watching at home. Craig Dewhurst.
Dewhurst,
there's a name. Rounded shoulders and covers the ground very quickly. So if you're at home and you're an old Goodwood man, you may well remember Craig Dewhurst, terrific player.
There's been a few South Adelaide Goodwood connection. Trent Mills especially comes to mind.
Yeah, well, Brent Nonna coached here. Warren Plungers coached here.
Yes.
So, yes, you're right. Been a strong South Adelaide connection.
Which, considering it's nowhere near Noarlunga, is a bit weird, but this is more Sturt West, yes. Anyway, soccer off the ground by the Goodwood Saints. Who can keep their feet the best? It thought for a sec it was going to be Anderson, but he got upended pretty quickly. And now it's just piles on in the mud pit.
Yeah,
ball still loose, umpire letting it go, which I do like. I saw this in the women's grand final that I called earlier today. The umpire's letting it go in these conditions. Let the players sort it out.
Yep, yeah, Will Charlton lucky there, slipped over, and Goodwood Saints weren't good enough to do anything about it. There's now Anderson in position. Heitman hits it out. Plenty of numbers around this contest. Anderson with the tackle on that player, Will Charlton, and Tony Harris moves in and have another, Tony Simons I should say, another ball up. We'll get used to say that. Perryman around the corner with the left, his preferred leg. Comes towards the wing. No one able to take the ball cleanly, and we'll get another throw in. Tommy Carter doesn't get much spell in the ruck, does he? Going to be a tough day for the ruckman today, ploughing through that sloth all day.
Actually, should check with Lambo what Cam Giles' status.
Looks like
he was off on, but I haven't seen him much lately.
Looks like a new ball too, Phil, at quarter time.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Now that's an interesting one. That could almost be a tunnelling.
Yeah, that should have been.
That's what it is.
Right.
So yeah, even though Anderson was taken high, that's because he was headbutting someone's kneecap. All right.
Starting to come into the game, isn't he, Sam Buckham? He's had a couple of important touches. Goes short again with this kick. That's not the greatest kick. That's gone out. Umpires let it go, so it must have been in. Charlton now. But again, Goodwood Saints defence stands up. But the kick's not the greatest. Neil's in a good position, just couldn't mark the ball.
Probably from shock.
Heitman Heitman to Anderson. Yeah, there were probably 4 or 5 errors in that passage of play, I would think, to be fair, Phil.
Yeah, and look, we're not
criticising
too much. It's that kind of day. The ball is going to slip off the side, and you're going to have it coming at you when you least expect it.
Well, a lot
of people jolly in the ruck. Nah.
A lot of people think wet weather brings the game down. I actually think it's the opposite. Skilled players stand out more on a wet
certainly the workers stand out more.
The guys who can still kick a drop punt and still hit a target are important.
Good to see Cam Giles with the footy. That means he's back. He goes for the corner and overcooks it.
Spoke too early.
Almost put Strengove into the chicken barbecue hut.
Do you reckon he would have been getting some advice from the Goodwood crowd?
Oh, just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit.
Certainly would have if it was at St. Peter's, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, they played that guy.
That is 2 out in the falls in a row. Not the greatest kick, young Ollie Johnson.
Yeah. Chance for Princes to respond pretty quickly. Once they find the footy, Mitch Larson has it, about 60 out. He decides enough of the banjo. I'm heading for the hot spot. And instead it's marked by Louis Whitelock, always the erstwhile defender.
Yes, goes with the left out the far side, looking for Mason Ellis. He gets it. Now he goes to the skipper, Benny Holzbauer, on his 150th. How many times have I said already? I know it must be starting to sound horrible at home because it's starting to even wear on my ears. Around the corner. He kicks around the corner.
Yeah. It's that kind of day.
It is indeed. So ball spills to front. Gee, charging through with some real vigour. Levi Elms does it beautifully. Ends up with Ollie Johnson. He goes around the corner. Now they're a chance here, Goodwood Saints. Will Dowd pushed out of the way there. Fell over now. In the end, I think the umpire gives him a free kick. So
he did that very well,
didn't he? Just a bit of experience there. And I was about to give him. I was about to sing his praises for kicking a drop punt, but he kicked it straight to Nick
Always
Favretto.
so reliable, that kind of stuff.
Nick Favretto didn't know that was coming, and he's quickly pushed it back from whence it came. But the difference was the silent G. He's a bit too far out, I would have thought. Does kick from the green grass, does well not to fall over. Straight through the hands of 2 players, 1 from either side. Now we've got a good pick-up in the direction of Oscar Clark. He gives it to Michael Tearley.
Buckham can't get it as we've got Giles. He's wrapped up pretty quickly. The Slapes, but combined can't do much at this moment except spectate. Buckham gives a great don't argue. This opens the way for McNamara. He runs to 50, sets up the open Jolly.
No, that's not Jolly.
That's one of the best passages we've seen. It's not Jolly, it's I reckon it's going to be Seables.
Ben Seables, yeah. I wonder if he's related to Carl Seables. Played a lot of good football for Prince Alfred for many years. Ex-state under 23
Well, Seables played round 5. He played in the C grade, kicked a goal. He's played 4 reserves games and kicked a goal. He's played 7 A grade games and kicked a goal. That was against Old Ignatians.
So he's got 3 for the season.
He's got 3, 1 for each grade. This to break the run. And they claim touch. Goal umpire, I don't think is having anything of it. He signals with both hands, and Princes extend their lead to 9. Let's go to Lambo.
Prince Alfred have just gone to another level at the moment, but there's plenty of rotations here down at the bench at the moment for both sides, mate. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that terrific report, Lambo.
Probably one of the plays of the day, I would say. We do have to find some for the Simon Black Academy.
Yes.
And just the transition there by Princes was the best we've seen.
So who kicked it in the end?
Seables.
Seables, indeed. Ben Seables. Benjamin.
They're all 6 individual goal scorers across this game thus far.
When you name your son Benjamin, do you do that knowing that he's going to be called Ben for his whole life? And so why don't you call him Ben, or do you hope that at some stage someone can call him Benjamin?
No, most of my kids had longer names that are shortened. Alexandria for Alex and Samuel for Sam.
Right. Just curious. I went with shorter names. Carly and Josh. They couldn't be shortened.
But not for Joshua. You didn't go Joshua.
Oh, sorry. I did go Joshua. Yes, good point.
Okay. Back to some footy here.
I wasn't there that day. I was at the footy.
You weren't there that day.
The day he was conceived, Phil. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we better.
Well done by Louis Whitelock. No, I was there the day of conception.
You did say you might go into tangents today. I wasn't expecting that.
You were thinking immaculate conception.
Everything with you is immaculate, Jacko. Boundary throw in. Princes have the run of form at the moment. I want to see where this throw in lands.
And the conversation.
No, the conversation's dead. Almost in the puddle.
Oh!
The player of the day! Tommy Bartlett has put on 2 pieces of sheer class.
Yep.
The sidestep to set up Oscar Clark's goal. I got to see. I hope we have this on the Simon Black Academy replay.
We have.
We do. Let's have a look at this. in one motion, grab, drop, kick.
Yeah, nice. Is that his second?
First. He debuted A-level for Princes this year, Rocks in round 14. Kicked 2 goals, then 4 goals against Tea Tree Gully. 1 goal last week in the win against the Brighton Bombers. He's back in town, and with him, Princes look potent.
And his shorts are still looking pristine, Phil. He's got the whitest shorts out on the oval still.
He did that without being tackled or muddied. Amazing.
Mum's happy. Neil hits it towards Jolly, falls over, does enough to get the ball into space. Heitman, I think it is, for Goodwood Saints. Now goes with the left foot towards half forward. Wow, it's sloppy in there.
Yeah.
And PAC good enough to come away with the ball. Siebels has a crack at it. Beautiful pick up in the end by Oliver Clark. Now Jolly has it, kicks a nice drop punt to space or grass or mud or whatever you want to call it. The Goody Saints, ooh, courtesy of no free kick there. The
umpire unsighted, I think, on that one.
Right.
I hope.
Heitman around the corner. Doward puts his body on the line and gives away a free kick. So a similar free kick to the one Trengove got for tunnelling. So the umpires are hot on that. And Smother on the mark ends up with Heitman. He's going to be tackled. He gets it away quickly. They're calling for a mark there, but I think it bounced before it got to him. Was it Ollie Johnson? As one of our favourite men in the league, Craig Scott, makes his way forward with lunch and drinks. He always does that while I'm talking.
That's okay, mate. You can have a rest up in a sec. Here's a snap around the body from Burgess. Takes a boundary side bounce. It's going to be a throw in. Thank you, sir. Delicious. There you go. We've got the cheer squad joining as well. So after kicking 2 goals to 1 in the first quarter, I reckon Princes have kicked the last 4.
Yeah, they've certainly arrested momentum of this game, haven't they?
So that heads towards the boundary. Okay, who's going to... You take a break first, Jacko.
Okay.
We have gone 17 minutes. Speaking of Craig Scott, I believe he'll be our special guest at half-time with the one and only Craig Lambert. Our boundary umpire sets himself. Be a bit of a crash. For spectators, not too bad a day. One person's brought the umbrella, which is blown inside out. Back to the mud pit we go. Almost a quick hand pass. Burgess. Here's the snap around the body, as Jacko loves to say, by Fraser Goods. On this occasion, wide to the right. So suddenly it's a game of accuracy. Goodwood 2 goals 6. That's 18. Princes 5 goals 2. That's 32. Goodwood 1 more scoring shot, but trailing by 14. Just about to tick over the 18-minute mark here at Goodwood Oval. Plenty of blue sky abounding now. As Giles the thump from behind ends up a stoppage in front of pretty much the Prince Alfred bench. And I'm sure some loyal Old Red support. A bit of supporting this big game. We've got a Crows game going on at the same time. Seems to be a lot of Saturday afternoon AFL at Adelaide Oval. I'm sure it's all a deeper conspiracy. But the game deserves a big crowd. 2 powerhouse teams that have had premiership success. And will be right in the mix along with Port District and, well, who knows, Glenunga, St. Peter's, in just a couple of weeks in the finals. Jolly claims it, not paid, kicks around the body. Pele would have been proud of that one. And Larson has taken the mark with nothing left to show of his number. Goes in board, gee, that's a poor kick to Ollie Johnson. Turnover, could have made Princes pay with a quick kick here. Didn't happen. He goes inboard inside 50. Nice desperate thump from behind. I think that was Siebels. Now they're away Princes. I bet this will go to Siebels in a sec. Reece Slape is lurking. Got a few teammates. Whitelock, the open man, was Blessing, intercepted. Here's Bartlett to Giles. To the muddied Larson, 1 step from 50, Blessing spoils. Heitman comes in and concedes the boundary line. Will be a throw right in front of the chicken barbecue hut. And Jacko, what's their production like today?
Let me tell you, Phil, the chicken sandwiches or steaks, is it chicken burger? Sensational. You enjoy yours while I call the game now. Goodwood Saints through Tom Anderson. Come down. Nice effort by Goodwood Saints' Nick Burgess there. Just didn't take it in the end. He's going to be done for holding the ball. Nice bit of pressure there by Tommy Sumner. He's got options in the middle. Jolly short if he lowers his eyes. Decides against that. And we've hardly seen a long kick today, and that certainly wasn't one of them. And Reece Slape intercepts beautifully. He's looking for Giles, but the kick just didn't have enough carry on it. So, a bit of a dead passage of plays. Decided to go the barrel, Reece Slape. Interesting choice. Goes towards Burgess. Anderson it was who hacks it off the ground, but intercepting it in real good position for Prince Alfred's Mackenzie Slee. We get a nice switch of the play now. He's gone to Trengove. He goes looking for Curran. He can't take it. He fumbled it. Goodwood Saints are a chance now. Holzbauer. Can he keep it in? Coming at it was Ollie Johnson. In the end, it was a good turnover by Goodwood Saints, but just not good enough to be able to result on a scoring shot on goal. Score is at this stage Prince Alfred 5-2. As Phil mentioned, accuracy becoming an issue for Goodwood Saints, who are on 2-6, so they've had actually one more scoring shot, but trailed by 14 points. So Neil it is who hits it towards Scara. Plenty of numbers around the contest, and the umpire has plucked out a free kick. Not sure who that's going to at the far side of the ground. I think it's Perryman. It is. He hugs the line. Coming across was Reece Slape. Now long Louis Whitelock in good position. So Louis Whitelock up against Tom Bartlett. Interesting duel. Would have played on each other a few times over the years, I would have thought. At this stage, Tommy Bartlett's been instrumental. He's kicked one and he's been instrumental in another. So he's certainly justifying his late season selection. Must have given away golf too. So a bit of a lull in the proceedings here, and in the end, Ollie Johnson from Goody Saints gets a little bit of space, but just can't get enough purchase on the kick, and it ends up going directly out of bounds, right in front of a couple walking their beautiful big, maybe Irish settlers in the far side, are they? I'll get Phil to have a look at that for me. Phil, concentrate on eating first. My temptation is I've got a sandwich here in front of me waiting for Lambo now. Surely it'll go cold by the time he gets up here, so I should eat it.
No.
So, ball spills forward. Good umpiring today. I've been impressed. They've let it go. They've rewarded the play going for the footy. Not very often the umpires get a pat on the back. People think it's their licence to give some grief. So Favretto now with some good purchase. A really good, strong contest by two players there. Did pluck out a free kick to Prince Alfred. Not exactly sure what that was for. It looked like a good contest. Maybe Curran it was who gets it. Favretto takes the ball off the ground.
There's a couple of players caked in mud now that we're looking around to see which team they're on.
Big Giles throwing his weight around and letting Tommy Anderson know about it. And not a bit of a difference in size. So this is Chris Curran with the ball again here, I think. The straight back of Curran. No, Mackenzie Slee it is.
Both Dale defenders. On this half-forward line, Goody Saints going to get a free kick. Halsbar, I think. No Favretto. So where are we at? 24 minutes. Get the feeling next goal's pretty crucial. If Princes get it, they're out to a pretty handy lead. If Saints get it, well, they're sort of back within single figures. So it's been a really good quarter for Prince Alfred. You're not. Oh,
I just ate the bit that was sticking out.
Oh, you're not. Okay. Glad we don't have booth cam here today, as Darwood's taken the mark for Prince Alfred, a chance to settle the ship. Doesn't look any particular hurry about things. Last time he had a shot, he kicked it right down the throat of an opponent. This one is much more of a percentage play to a big pack. Giles tries to kick around the body. He's upended out of bounds in the process. Will be a throw, and in front of the source scoreboard, we call it the sip and save scoreboard. Goodwood Saints 2-6-18. Prince Alfred Old Collegians 5-2-32.
Yeah, nearly 25 minutes gone. Won't be a long quarter, I wouldn't have thought. We've probably had 4 goals kicked for the quarter, perhaps, so might go to 27 or 28 minutes. Neil hits it forward in the direction of Trengo, but Goody Saints are good enough to get the ball out, and again, getting first to the ball is Will Dowwood. He's fallen over a lot today, Will, but I tell you what, he's made really good positionings and a good lesson for Angus Rana when he gets the chance to watch the replay. You see Will Dowwood's ability to get to the ball first makes a big difference. So we've got a ball up. Big Carter lays it down. Craig Pitts in there. Still Tommy Bartlett has the nicest shorts on the oval. It'll be interesting to see whether he changes them.
Worried about your obsession with Tommy Bartlett shorts, but anyway, ball up. Somewhere out of all of that, the Saints get a clearance, and Singleton kept his feet the best. Made sure it goes out of bounds. Chance here for the Saints. Get a late one just on half-time. They need it. Gone goalless in this second quarter. And I reckon Princes have kicked the last 4 on us. And Tommy Carter, the thump, only as far as Buckham, who's been busy today. Lots of players going in. Kneeled with the soccer. Now Perryman got the hand pass out to Buckham, I think. Back in the centre square. Picked up quickly inside forward 50 for Goodwood. Just as quick a release. So they're playing kick to kick pretty much at the moment. There's a chance for Prince Alfred to break into some open space.
Oh, he's done his hamstring.
Oh, gee, Giles has gone and is instantly grabbed for the back. He's done.
Well, that's a bad
terrible.
one, Phil.
Right on half-time.
He will struggle to play another game.
He's off pretty quickly. Hugo Kelly is on. And with both these teams' finals bound, injuries is the one thing you just do not want. This is going to be bigger fish to fry in a couple of weeks. Let's go to Lambo.
Jacko and Phil, just Cameron Giles is off. I think he's done his hammy, mate. He's right in front of me holding it. He's in a lot of pain. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, that's a bad hammy. Look, to the extent that he is struggling to walk. So to me, that's a 4-week hamstring with how bad he's holding it. So he will struggle to play. Certainly early stages of the finals on the back of that, which is a big blow to Prince Alfred. So the scoreboard, as Phil mentioned, 5-2, all in favour of Prince Alfred. Goodwood Saints yet to score a goal this quarter on 2-6. Would love to get one late in the quarter. We are 27 and a half gone. Carter lays it down. Still no one able to take the ball cleanly for Goody Saints, although they might get a free kick here, and that's the secret of playing well in these conditions. You've just got to give you first at the ball. Bit of push and shove going on between Carter and Slee, I think. But it's Goodwood Saints who have the free kick.
I'll probably bet Carter in that one-on-one battle.
Yes, correct. And young Sam Lauby, well, I think this will test his distance, to be honest with you, Phil. He's going to be running through a fair bit of mud. He'll be kicking, well, I can't see the forward 50 line anywhere, but I'm guessing he's kicking from at least 40, I would think. And I'd say he has no chance to make the distance, so he better go to the top of the square, or I'm going to be very angry. He does. Good boy. Didn't mean it, but... And there ends the quarter. A little bit of feeling crept into the game this quarter. A couple of players not happy with their opposing number. And, well, given there's a bit riding on this game, isn't there, Phil? In terms of ladder position.
Well, there is, because I can tell you, and I'll give you scores a bit later, Glenunga are doing the job on Old Ignatians, which means if Princes don't win, that climb to the top 3 could be a short one. And we know premierships are won with double chances in this league normally.
And that puts Old Ignatians in real danger of being relegated, Phil.
Exactly right. We'll give you some updates of all those games shortly. Time for a halftime break. We will have an interview, Lambo and Craig Scott, coming up soon. It's Prince Alfred Old Collegians 5-2-32, Goodwood Saints 2-6-18, Phil Hurden, Sean Jackson, Craig Lambert, and the filming footy crew. This is the Adelaide Footy League.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club.
Welcome to half time today, and we're at Goodwood Oval, and I've got a fantastic guy next to me called Craig Scott, who's the president of the club. He's been president for many years. How are you, Scotty?
Very good, thanks, Lambo. Very good. Well, let's be honest, not as good as I should be.
Yeah. Half time today, the scores: Saints 2 goals, 6 to Prince Alfred 5-2. Saints had a really good first quarter, mate, and then second quarter thought they have a sandwich.
Yeah, definitely. I thought they played really well in that first quarter, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a very, very good game. And the Princess boys just had their opportunities, and in front of that goal, and they've kicked those goals that they needed to.
Craig, I've known you for nearly 30 years, I reckon, mate, and no doubt police officer in your time, but I think what's taken up a lot of your time is the Goodwood Saints Footy Club, and we heard a bit of a rumour that you're hanging up the boots this year, and the paper and the pen and the mobile phone, and you're moving on to greener pastures. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll still be here, but it's time. This is my 6th year as president, and this is the second stint of 6 years as president, so it's time for someone else to come in, someone new, some ideas. I'll still help out with other areas of the club, but yeah, it's time for someone new.
Fantastic. Today's been, it's dedicated to Colin Tiny Nelson, mate, who's an absolute legend of the club, mate, and very sad about his passing. So from all the commentary team and everybody at the Amateur League, mate, condolences to the Goodwood Football Saints Football Club, mate.
Thanks, mate. He's a well-known person throughout the football circles. He's been a Amateur League timekeeper, a trainer, and also a team manager. So everyone at Adelaide Footy League and the old South Australian Amateur Football League know him. He'd be driving up in his van to 10th Street North Adelaide picking things up, and so everyone knows him. And for a person who's had 72 years helping out with one club, it's absolutely amazing.
You know, Craig, we've been around a little bit, through football, but those people just don't just come off. It just doesn't happen, and to have somebody being part of that club for many years, a lot of stories. He's a club legend, and also are you looking at honouring him in a different way, like whether have some signage here, or if you speak to the council, something just to honour him, because he deserves it, doesn't he, mate?
Yeah, look, he's got the grandstand, the terrace is named after him, which is fantastic. So look, every club's got their tiny, but I'm not sure if there's too many that had someone for 72 years.
You're spot on, mate, and look, if he's looking down on us now, he'll be very proud of what he's put into the club. Hopefully the boys regroup and really turn it on in the second half. Craig, mate, before we do move on and finish, what are you going to miss about the club? I heard you're going to get back into watching Neighbours at home, and a few of those shows around 6:37, but also I heard you're going to get back into gardening.
Gardening definitely is not one thing I wouldn't mind playing a little bit of golf, but I'll still be out here doing things and helping out in some way. But as you know, I've got 2 young kids as well, so I'll just spend a bit of time with them as well. So
great stuff, mate. And again, from everybody here at the Amateur League and Dartfish, we appreciate all your efforts over the years. I heard one of your neighbours likes golf.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if I can play with him. Steve Jacqui would be the worst bloke to play golf with. He's an angry man at times, but I do love him.
Before we go, mate, if you've got 30 seconds, what do you want to say to everybody out there about Goodwood Football Club, mate, while you've had your time here?
Oh, look, I would just say that I know that all clubs are struggling with volunteers and all clubs are tired. This is our third year of COVID, and I would just encourage people to put their hand up to help, because that's what the clubs need the most. We don't have any problems with footballers. It's the people behind the scenes that we need. So, you know, get up, do something for your club, and make that effort to try and make your club better.
No worries. From behalf of the boys today, mate, and Dartfish and the Amateur League, mate, we appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to having a nice chat with you after the game in the same place, same room, Craig. So take care, mate, and have a great day.
Thanks, Lambo. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone.
G'day guys, the Simon Blake Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about...
Yes, so sorry folks, we just missed the opening bounce there as we had to get the cameraman relocated after that in-depth interview from Lambo, but Goodwood Saints had first crack at it, but it's gone forward for PAC. Spilled the mark there by Hugo Kelly, who's still looking very clean. Phil, I haven't had a crack at Bartlett about his shorts, but Hugo Kelly's are in good nick too. It was always the test I found on a muddy day that you didn't want to make sure you had the cleanest shorts, because that
Blighty wouldn't have liked that at all.
No. So McNamara now has a crack from about 50. Bartlett!
Oh dear.
Tommy Bartlett, the ball spills over the back of the pack. Just a little bit of experience there, wasn't it?
Yep.
3 bites of the cherry though.
Well, it's a slippery ball, and he made great position, and this will be for goal number 2 if he can dob it.
Wilkes quickly playing his way into a candidate for our player of the match.
Yeah.
Tommy Bartlett hadn't had a lot of touches, but he's been a very, very effective player, and that's why he's in the side, and that is his second.
Let's go quickly to Lambo, then I've got some scores around the ground.
Check on Phil, a great start for Prince Alfred. That's 5 unanswered goals. Young Jack Carter, number 3 for Goodies, has got a quaddie. He's on the bike. We'll see if he gets back on the field. Back to you, boys.
Thanks for that, Lambo. Well researched. As half-time, St. Peter's Old Collegian 6-5-41, Brighton 3. No goals, just 3.
3 points.
3 points. Remember that it was Brighton that kept St. Peter's goalless for 3 quarters when they met in the first game. We'll give you some more action. I'll give you some more scores around the Buddy Bet Division 1 in a tick.
All right, back in the centre, Jordan Neal and Carter. Nice jump by Neal, but he's gone too early, and Carter slaps it forward. It's very, very difficult, folks, to get this ball clean, and not sure we had to change the ball at half time because that ball looks very muddy. The umpire has given away a free kick, and if you want to win this game, you've got to be first to the footy. That would have been the Ducks' instruction at half time, because Goodwood Saints stopped doing that. Prince Alfred got inside them, and that's how you win the free kicks, and I think the free kick count would definitely be in favour of Prince Alfred for that reason alone. McNamara steams out, goes to the half forward flank. Carter's there, can't take it, hits the ground quite heavily. Now McNamara follows his work up at half forward. He's going again, looking for Bartlett. Oh, gee, just dropping the mark there, Goodwood Saints. Hacked out now. Heitman has a chance. Beautiful handball release. Goes to Slape. Now they're out. Although Prince Alfred's again good enough, lowering their eyes now. Is that a mark? Not paid, or paid to Mackenzie Slee? Is that Mackenzie Slee?
Is that Mackenzie Slee?
Might be Chris Curran. I don't know. It's very hard to... Mackenzie's got the red boots on. Anyway, we're at half forward, getting in the way beautifully is Tommy Carter. He goes back from where it came.
Just for the record, it was Oscar Clark, but
Oscar Clark.
close 2-3.
Well, it's getting harder to read the numbers, folks, so I must apologise for that.
Yeah, some other quick scores around the Buddy Bet Division 1. Port District, the league leaders, lead Ross Trevor by 16. Glenunga lead Old Ignatians by 48.
Wow.
And at Paynham, well, the Falcons are 2 goals. It's 17-16, including Teacher Gully leading 17, having kicked 1 goal, 11. So glad we're here and not there for that one, Jacko, because that would be a frustrating game to comment when one team kicks 1 goal, 11 and a half of footy.
Yeah, and this is we've been here many times before in the past, Phil, where Goodwood Saints are out of it at half time, and we've called that accordingly, and they've been good enough. In fact, I think last time we were here,
St.
we said
Peter's,
that.
Old Collegians, exact same thing.
And Louis Whitelock pulled me to task after the game, saying don't ever back against Goodwood Saints at half time.
That's it.
But I'll tell you what, it hasn't got a good feel at the moment. I'm not prepared to say they're gone, but it hasn't got a good feel at the moment. Prince Alfred throwing themselves at the ball. They're inside the contest. Jolly goes around the body, but Reece Slape does it again. His ability to read the play off the boot is exceptional and gets himself in very, very good position. Good learning curve for his direct opponent today, who you think may be Siebels, Ben Siebels. So Slape goes the far side, looking for Rana. He can't take it. And once again, in front of the 2 matching trees there, Phil.
Yes.
I know you're a lover of
like
nature.
Like a doubles game.
Yeah, beautiful.
Of tennis, which there is some tennis being played. And I think it's the first time I've seen tennis.
Courage.
Here for a while. Carter with the tap. So Goodwood Saints need a forward entry. They haven't had one this quarter, I reckon.
No.
Perryman's kicked it. Is that lob? That's gone over the fence and into the tennis courts.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be hitting that with your tennis racket, that
That's
big heavy
going to
red
play
ball.
havoc with the doubles game that was on before. I don't think anyone's got the key to those courts, actually, so it's a new football.
Not a bad idea anyway.
That's making its way over from the clubroom side all the way over to the other side.
Do you think that might have been a tactic for Prince Alfred? Get rid of that dirty
Get rid of
old
that
heavy
ball,
ball, get a new
well.
ball out.
Yeah, it's a big area to lob it into, that's for sure. All right, here come the Goodwood Saints. Down the outer wing. Looking and finding Kirk.
Is that a mark?
Yeah, it should be.
Not paid.
Okay.
I don't know what happened there.
Clunked it, but maybe it was touched off the mark or...
Off the boot, perhaps.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, this is in Goodwood's third of the field now. Just. But it ain't coming out. Goes over the boundary line. Throw in. What are we gone? 6 minutes into the third quarter. All the scoring, as it has been for most of the last quarter and a bit, for Prince Alfred.
Yeah, Goody Saints are going to need Favretto and Scara to start getting into this game if they have any chance of winning it. For mine, they're getting beat convincingly in and around the stoppage. But as we said before, write them off at your own peril as Carter gives them first look at it. He hits this one forward in the direction of Heitman. He can't take it. Didn't mind the play. This is the one where I reckon you take a bit of risk. Have a look at the ground surface and go, well, do I hook it over the back, Tommy Carter, into some, open up the goals a bit. Well, it's out the back, but it's Prince Alfred to get first hands on it again. They go forward now. They've got some numbers. Nice transfer of play. It's out on the wing. Just can't take it cleanly in the end, and Tommy Lynch comes across for Goodwood Saints, and he's tackled. In the end, slung without the footy, and I think he will... No, I've called that again incorrectly. No free kick, boundary throw-in.
So, yeah, that was a great pickup along the wing, and the first handball was bang on. The second one should have been better. Keep that ball off the ground for the clear possession. Tap to Neild. I think that's Buckham who's got a hand pass out in hope. Anderson gets rid of one Prince Alfred defender, but there's more where that came from, and it's going to be Prince's free. Could be Siebels here, who's trying to find some green grass to kick from. Does so now. There's a massive pack about 30 metres out. Kicked around the boundary line. Princess have it. Is a snap from the boundary.
Tell you
Phil.
Phil.
What, he's dobbed it.
Is that Trengove?
No, it's got a 4 on it. Or actually, it might be the coach. It's the coach. Craig Pitt has slotted. There you go, boys. That's how it's done. And I reckon that's a backbreaker.
And does that overtake Tommy Bartlett as the play of the day?
No, I reckon Tommy Bartlett. Only because he had the fake one as well, so he's sort of got a resume going.
Right, okay.
And he's got the mark as well.
Balance of numbers in his favour.
Although we have to ration this out, so if Bartlett is one of your players of the game, maybe Pitt comes in for player of the game. We'll negotiate.
Plenty of water to go under the bridge yet, Phil.
Yeah,
We're only 9 minutes
mud
into
to
the
go
third
flying
quarter.
before that.
Yep. So Neil gets this one to Jolly. He falls over. Pitt ends up getting it out with a quick kick. It's Tommy Anderson's there for Goodwood Saints. Gives the handball out. Now they go almost into their forward 50, but not quite, unfortunately. They just haven't seen much ball at all. Interestingly, Benny Holzbauer has bandaged his left knee up fairly heavily and is playing deep inside the forward 50. Not a move that we've seen a lot of. Don't mind it, though, if they can open up a bit of space for him, which they seem to be wanting to do. It'll be interesting to see whether that pays dividends. He's been picked up by Mackenzie Slee, who had a terrific second quarter for Prince Alfred. So Jolly now handballs this beautiful Curran, I think that is, or that may be Buckham. Looks a bit like Curran Buckham when he stands up. Now there a chance, PAC. Just slipped over in the sloth, and Goodwood Saints are good enough to be able to repel it with a quick kick. Standing in the way with a real bit of courage. What a terrific mark that was. I reckon it was Michael Teely, or is it Michelle Teely? Maybe, is it that spelling correct?
Oh, who knows?
Teely, I think it was.
Teely, yeah, that is the correct spelling.
Yep. That's the first name I was querying. But Jordan Neal has the ball now for Prince Alfred. Just unable to get any real consecutive ball, Goody Saints. They repel this one okay. Mitchell, not even close. Anyway, Fraser Goods has it for Goodwood Saints, and he intercepted that
I think
beautifully.
I might have to do these lists a little bit earlier in the day.
Were you drinking when you did these lists?
I might have.
Right, just a couple of sodas.
It was a big week, Jacko.
Right,
that's all I can say.
I always say if a man can't have a drink on a Friday, Phil, when can he have one?
When can he have one? That's right. If not, then when? All right, what do we got here? 26 points, which in these conditions is larger. It's almost like 6 goals, and Prince's, to mine, not far from putting this one beyond reasonable doubt. And Goody Saints started so strong as well. Anderson's kick, he got smothered and he lost complete track of the ball.
I haven't seen much of Burgess. Where's Burgess? Is he playing in the back half now for Goodwood Saints?
He's hard to find because last time I saw Burgess, he had his Guernsey splattered in mud. Throw in, 40 metres out, Prince's goal. Carter, a good thump. This is to Jolly. Jolly, the skill to Singleton. Kicks around the body, and there's a Prince's mark. And here's Mitchell Teely.
Mitchell, yeah.
Sorry, Mitch. Back my typing. And is this for the game? Am I going too early, Jacko?
I think the game's gone, to be honest with you, Phil. 4.5 goals. This will be 5.5. This will definitely be it.
Comes in. It's going to be short. Oh, you hate that.
Just
Didn't know
kick
his
through
range
the ball.
in the wet weather.
Did hard getting through the slot there to get the kick in, though.
Oh, you're in a
generous mood.
Generous mood today. Good to see. Prince Alfred 7-3-45. Goodwood Saints 2-6-18. 27-point margin on the Sip and Safe scoreboard. 1 hour delivery, 7 days a week.
Right, now they're a chance, Goodwood Saints. They're out. They're into space. Here's Burgess. He'll run onto this okay. Watch this. Lays on a tackle. Coming to assist him is Sam Lauby. But Prince Alfred have all the answers, and one of the few times we've seen Goodwood Saints penetrate their front half of the ground. Prince Alfred good enough to repel that. So just in front of the scoreboard, a couple of people up there in the, what is it, the Athletic Hockey Club, is it? The great second story there?
Yeah, I think so.
So Carter, will he go over the back? He doesn't. He goes forward again. It ends up with Ollie Johnson. Now it's Jolly. And a free kick has been paid. I think it's Ollie Johnson. Just recognised the face, not the number, because he's facing the other way. Let's see how he goes, Ollie. Oh, I love it. Took the man on the mark. Got himself close enough to goal. Did everything right, but just couldn't finish his good work. So, first score to Goodwood Saints for a while, Phil.
Yeah, for quite a while. 2 goals, 7. Have not kicked a goal since, I reckon, about the midway point of the first quarter.
So if you remember the first quarter, they were really good at locking the ball in. So here's their chance to do what they did in the first quarter. Hold the ball in their front 50 until they can score a goal.
I can tell you that the crowd is boosted because the Goodwood Saints ladies, fresh from their 9 News Division 3 premiership, have arrived back from Mitcham. So, regardless of how the men go today, it's going to be party time with the women.
Looks like it's blue jeans day too. They're all dressed the same, Phil.
Could be. Ready for a big night out, I suspect. The club rooms might be the first of many stops on a grand tour.
Yep. Yeah, they're up and about, aren't they?
Tonight. All right, but it's over the other side at the moment. 14 and a half gone. Saints need a spark. They got a runner in ruck, just to be different. It's just players all over the ball. And it ain't coming out as much as the umpire wants to let it go. Another ball up.
Seems to be doing all the work too. Does Matt Harrison? Where's Tony Simons? Did he come out after half time? Good heavens, he's there, Tony. He's getting paid under false pretences. Locked inside Goodwood Saints. That's why we haven't seen him. He's in Goodwood Saints front half of the ground. He'll get a chance to officiate this one though, as we get another boundary throw in.
Let's go to Lambo.
Boys, Jack Carter is finished for today. He's got the ice on. He's finished for today with a quad injury. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, not one that they would like to lose either. Really important part of their structure. Jack Carter does a terrific job at the back half of the ground, taking the opposition's key forward. So they'll hope that one is not as bad, but that's one each.
Yep, both down to one less on the interchange bench. There's a high tackle.
They'll get a shot on goal here now, Phil.
Yeah, and that's well within range. Who's got it is my question.
Heitman.
No, it's Lauby.
Lauby. Yep.
Yeah, there's just a one on the end there.
He's a master at getting a head-high tackle, Lauby.
Yeah. Now he's going to Stevie J here.
He is too.
19 on the season, 2 goals last week. Too far. Offhand, stays in bounds.
Surely that's legging.
Well, you would have thought so.
I don't think he's...
The guy's hobbling
No,
he's
paid it.
Yeah, okay. Glad there's some sanity.
Right in front of the girls.
Giving some premiership advice, no doubt.
Yes.
You always feel like I think that's
that is the mark of the day.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Hugo Kelly. Great catch under the circumstance.
Yeah, and it's in the highlight reel. There's a few spectacular stuff.
Make a note of that for the mark of the round.
Yes.
You make a note
between
of that one
the posts.
For Hugo Kelly for between the posts at the 16:30 of the third quarter.
Quite often do find the broadcast ones do bob up.
Angus
67 games to choose from, or 32 games to choose from. So this game is going along beautifully if you're a Prince Alfred fan. Goodwood have only added a behind to their half-time score. Saints have added a couple of goals, and they're going to go forward.
Yeah, so Trengove it was who gets it quickly onto his boot, looking for Oscar Clark. He can't keep it in, unfortunately. But yeah, certainly have a massive advantage in and around the footy, Prince Alfred now. Goodwood Saints need to try. Not sure what else you can try under the conditions, to be honest with you. The only options open as a roll with an extra up at the stoppage if you're Luke Donaldson, if you're conceding that you're losing it there. Here they come, Goodwood Saints. Goodwood's Prince Alfred quickly around the corner and given some encouragement. Goodwood Saints onto Mitch Larson, who kicked that out on the fall. Jack Trengove coming in to remonstrate on his behalf, but I don't think it'll worry Mitch Larson too much. He's a rough and tough character.
Yeah, he's one of the rougher and tougher ones, I think, in the Prince's lineup. I think he mistook the drain for the boundary line.
And when you're 5 goals down, I'm not sure you want to worry about the opposition too much, because now here they come again through Sam Buckham. Prince Alfred, long kick. That's as good a kick as I've seen lengthwise today.
Yeah.
Just couldn't quite keep it online, but Just goes to show you, you got the technique, you'll still stand up in conditions like these, Phil.
Kick comes out, Goodwood going down the outer side. Quick pick up by Princes. No, they're just hand passing it to each other. Heitman has it for the Saints. Whitelock tries to earn the free kick, and a lot of umpires standing with drinks in their hands on the outer side, and they eventually concur. But yes, that was a deserved free. In front of the outhouse there, they've got a tennis player, a hockey player, a Goodwood Saints player, and a cricketer. Some nice mural work going there.
Yeah, free kick being picked out there, though. Goes to Prince Alfred. I think that is Chris Curran there.
Yeah, one of the, and Clark, Will Clark is slow to get up on his haunches.
Good mark taken by Sam Buckham. He's been pretty good today, Sam Buckham, I've got to say. That's not a bad kick into the corridor. Well punched away by Louis Whitelock, but Trengover's in best position to take it. In the end, it ends up with Prince Alfred. They go quickly off the ground, looking for the big Hugo. Can he keep his feet? He can't. And we'll have another ball up.
I'm not sure it's really a game where you can put much structure into trying to kick goals today. I think it's get the ball, kick it to the spots.
Yep, no, you're right. It's about identifying where you're falling short, though, and for me it's pretty clear that Goodwood Saints are falling short around the ball. So you might want to throw an extra number there just to give you a little bit of cover and concede in the front half of the ground.
Well, there is no one in the back half of the ground. There's no one actually within Kuhir, the back half of the ground at the moment. All 36 on the field at Prince's end. Because that's where the ball is. Now, who's going to try and get rid of it? Who's going to try and play for a free kick? That was Charlton onto Hugo Kelly, but it does spill momentarily. But they've got the wall set up well here. This is Curran now.
Free kick's been paid from both umpires.
Two different
directions.
Okay, it's going to be a Prince's free.
Yep, I think it's Larson. Looks like he's copping a little bit of attention from the Goodwood Saints boys. He's got under their skin.
Yeah.
And it's worked beautifully for him because for a left footer, he's on the right side of the ground. As in the right side and the correct side.
13 goals for the season, so knows how to kick them.
Got that too, I reckon. No. Gave a beautiful hip and shoulder, if you remember, against St. Peter's round 1 or round 2. Took someone out on that day,
That was a rare highlight,
yeah,
because they got their St. Peter's looked absolute world beaters in that game.
Yeah. Hasn't their season turned since then?
Well, Saints have got a bit. Well, they've got some time to turn it around. They got a pretty good lead at Brighton today. That should lock up a finals berth, and the problem is they probably lost a chance at the top 3. It's been their drop and Prince's rise. That's been the changeover. Districts and Goodwood have been near top of the table pretty much all season. Saints go forward, and Will Doward says, yeah, saw that coming a mile off.
Free kick, though.
Oh, he's giving away the free.
Burgess has the free kick.
Okay.
I didn't see
Don't
it.
see that too often.
I don't think it was against Doward. I think it might have been against someone else for holding. Why you'd need to hold when you've got Doward down there is
if he wasn't going to mark, would at least create the contest.
A rare scoring opportunity for Goodwood Saints. Burgess haven't nailed a goal since the first quarter. He's on target with this one though, Nick Burgess, and a much needed goal for Goodwood Saints. Pushes them out to 3-7. That's his first for the day. Interestingly enough, same amount of scoring shots. Unfortunately for Goodwood Saints, they're 3-7, and Prince Alfred are 7-3.
Let's go to Lambo.
First goal since the 22-minute mark of the first quarter. That's the difference. Prince still have all the answers. Back to you, boys.
Lambo keeping the stats down by the boundary.
Someone's been in Lambo's ear, haven't they, and just upped his work rate. Might have been our boss, John Douglas, who realised that, there's more to Lambo's game than just ordering the chicken sandwiches.
And doing the interviews post-match, which he does brilliantly.
Correct.
Alrighty. We are into time on. A handy one for the Saints. Keeps their fans interested. Margin back to 20. Another one, and well, things might just get interesting. Favoretto grabs the ball, grabs an opponent, decides to go forward. And that was Pitt, who was trying to take for the ride. They clash again as Carter. Favoretto tries to crawl towards the ball, can't do it. Carter sockers forward. Lauby the pick-up and the fumble. Looked good until he left the ball behind. Who's that went down hard to the back. Favoretto, kick smothered. A lot of 1%ers at play right here. In the end, ain't coming out.
Just wondering who goes into the ruck for Prince Alfred when Neil needs a spell. And I guess the biggest bloke out there is Hugo Kelly. He's a big lump of a lad, isn't he? They have to spend some time in the ruck to give Neil a bit of a spell, because tough job today for the ruckman. With the amount of restarts we've had, they are in the play constantly as Jolly goes around the corner now. At the back of the pack is Oscar Clark. Now he goes, looking for the bloke I mentioned before. Hugo Kelly can't get his feet. Tommy Lynch does it well for Goodwood Saints.
Yep, that's a win.
Yep, good old-fashioned football. Head to the boundary, let the boundary line be your friend. Saw his dad do that for many, many a time.
25 gone, third quarter. Saints have got one goal. Princes have kicked a couple. They've extended their half-time lead. So the throw comes in. Carter tapped it down pretty much to his feet. Ollie Johnson kicks it towards the tennis club toilets.
Nice take by Curran, wasn't it?
It
Nice
was a
clean.
good take. And then Heitman took him.
Yep.
And that was the end of any movement of the ball.
So Neil's starting to look a little bit fatigued, as is Carter. I mentioned they both had a power of work to do today. Carter gets that on the check. Now they go towards Burgess. He can't control it. Well, it's obvious play, isn't it, for Prince Alfred? They are throwing themselves at every contest, understanding if they can hold it out for the rest of the quarter, they go in with a pretty handy advantage at three-quarter time. And conversely for Goodwood Saints, if they could pinch one more here, get it back to 14 points, Phil, it's game on.
Half chance.
Yeah, it's game on. And we've called it 10 minutes ago.
Yep, I called it 10, yep.
So it wouldn't be the first time we've been left with egg on our faces at Goodwood Saints. Tiny Nelson Park. No, I think the stand's named after Tiny Nelson rather than the whole oval.
Yeah, it's a lovely little complex here.
Yeah.
In the middle of it's not on a main road, so many don't know of its existence. Some struggle to find it.
Not today.
But lovely piece of sporting paradise not too far from the CBD. As that forward 4-0 for Goodwood Saints. Again, they sort of get the victory there by forcing it out of bounds or waiting for the cavalry to turn up. 20-point margin. Now what are we doing? 26.5 minutes gone of this third quarter. Not a lot of goals. They've all gone 28, 30 minutes. As that kick went more backwards than forwards for Princes. Big thump out of nowhere. Now it's in the open space. Here comes Larson. Got a boot onto the ball. And two Goody Saints in pursuit aren't going to win that battle. Throw in.
Just did enough, didn't he, Mitch Larson? He was 1v2. He had Whitelock coming at him. He
Lovely
had Josh
attack on
Slate
it.
coming at him. Just did enough to get it onto the boot and push it out of bounds and give him a chance to reset. And when you know your strength is around the ball, Phil, a restart is always a positive. Let's see what happens with this one. The tap, won by Goodwood Saints. Ball on the ground. Goodwood Saints now come away nicely through Tom Anderson. Go forward. Burgess is there, controlled. Nice bit of heat by Kyle Kirk. Got some numbers here, Goodwood Saints. This could be holding the ball. And if it is, it'll be a free kick. It is indeed a free kick to Goodwood Saints. Look, I think personally it's Will Clark that's got the ball, but it is a good kick, but I reckon this is going to take every ounce of his best kick, Phil. I mean, his distance, it's probably 42 metres. He's intelligently drying the ball. I'd dry your boot as well if I were you, mate.
And whilst it's unfair, he's doing up his shoelace, so he's close, to put the fate of a game on one kick. Momentum-wise, this is massive.
So it's all on Will Clark. Will, you kick this, your team's alive. You lose this, you don't kick it, and straight to the shower. Will Clark. It's great purchase off his boot, and they get around him. Well, that's a very, very important goal for Goodwood Saints, and as is always the case, as soon as we start riding them off, it's almost like a switch. It's almost like Luke Donaldson hears us. And that and the arrival of the girls from the Premiership, what was it, Division 2 reserves, Phil?
Division 3.
Division 3 reserves.
No, Division 3.
Division 3 A grade, okay. So, big day for Goodwood Saints, and that's a great goal by Will Clark. It brings Goodwood Saints back to 14 points, which is, well, 3 goals to win it. They've only kicked 4 for 3 quarters, but it gives them a sniff.
Yes, indeed. 29 minutes gone. That siren has got to be imminent. Just a little bit of momentum. First time in quite some time to the home team. And they're going to get the clearance. Leasing with the kick. Ooh, looked to be a slight push there, but no free paid. Ball up.
In front though, Burgess, that's where you win.
Yeah, Burgess, you think if the Saints are going to come back, he's going to be involved. The Carter, the tap into space. Who can run onto it? Someone ran into a brick wall. Plus putting the whistle away momentarily. We'll take it again.
I reckon they've just gone up a notch, Goodwood Saints.
Yep.
They can smell another goal before time.
They're starting to attack boldly. On this occasion, and Carter is winning the ruck taps.
He's controlling the ruck, there's no doubt about that, which gives you a chance.
He's been tapping them in all different directions, which is good. And there's your siren. Princes would be happy to hear it, I reckon. They got as far out in front as about 27 points. Goodwood Saints have rounded back to 14. It's a Goodwood Saints 4-7-31, Prince Alfred 7-3-45 on the Sip and Save scoreboard. 3/4 time. We'll be back with scores around the grounds, Lambo's report from the huddles, and Jacko's analysis. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
G'day guys, the Simon Blake Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome back, three-quarter time here at the Goodwood Oval, the Buddy Bet Division 1 game of the day. The second place Goodwood Saints, third place Prince Alfred Old Collegians, and the Redmen with a 16-point lead. Some quick scores around the other grounds. Payneham Norwood Union 4-7-31. Tea Tree Gully 1-11-17. So that's a 16-point margin. Glenunga 11-10-76, Old Ignatian 6-4-40, Glenunga by 6 goals. Port District 9-9-63, Ross Trevor 4-2-26, Port District by 6 goals. And St Peter's 7-5-47. Brighton have scored a couple of majors, they're 2-3-15, St Peter's by 32. So, Jacko, out of all of that, we've got the close one.
We have indeed. A game set up for a good finish. 14-point margin here to Prince Alfred at three-quarter time. We'll go to Lambo, who's been to both huddles.
Three-quarter time here, Jacko and Phil. 6 unanswered goals there at the third quarter, but Goodwood Saints kicked the last 2. So the difference was Goodwood Saints picked up their work rate the last 5 to 7 minutes. Can they maintain this in the last quarter? I reckon they can. They've got a better feeling now. They've had a bit of a lapse in the middle of the game. I reckon we're going to have a cracker. And they just want to concentrate on the little things and keep running hard and smarter and keep pushing the ball forward. With Prince Alfred, they want to maintain their structure. If they maintain their structure, they'll win. Okay, back to you boys. Great call. See you soon.
Thank you, Lambo. Yeah, well, I think he nailed that pretty well, Phil. It looked like the game was slipping away from Goodwood Saints, and they were good enough to be able to turn or arrest the momentum that Prince Alfred had, and that's a sign of a very experienced side to be able to do that. They could have easily lost this game by 6-7 goals. As it is, we are out to 16 points and changing the ruck for Prince Alfred. Looks like Siebel it is that's gone in the ruck, which is an interesting one. Goes forward now for Goodwood Saints. So, giving away a lot of height is Siebel's in the ruck. Where has Neil gone? Can you see Jordan Neil, number 30, Phil?
He usually is pretty hard to miss.
Yeah. Carter gets this one out of the ruck, which we tend to see him do a lot. He hasn't done that much today. Heitman now. Favretto, well tackled. But yeah, we haven't seen Carter take the ball out of the ruck as much as he normally does. So, yeah, a bit of a concern for Prince Alfred that their number 1 ruckman didn't start on the ground, and they're giving away a lot of height now. I thought they might have gone with number 20, Hugo Kelly, as their backup ruckman, but it looks like they've gone with Siebel. So he's certainly given away a lot of size, and that gives Carter a real advantage here. Have a look at the size difference here. He'll do what he wants with it. He hits it forward, as you're probably best off doing under a day like today. But this is where Goodwood Saints. Tactics are really important here. You've got to think about if you're a Prince Alfred, you're giving away that. Do you engage a second jumper? That's what I would be doing. But luckily for me, I'm not coaching.
228s, Siebels and Carter. Let's see, Carter's doing all right with this. Tap down towards the lobby direction. See, Goodwood Saints' is forward 50 arc, along with about 24, 26 of the players.
If they can get the first one, it'll be a really good finish, won't it, Phil?
Yeah. We always say first guide on the final quarter is one of the most important in the entire game. It just sets the momentum up going home, and really the case here. The 14-point margin. Prince's kick it, it's 20 points, it's a long way back. Brighton kick it, it's back to within single figures, and anything can happen.
You've got to get in first, Phil. First of the footy, super important now.
Yeah, and there it was good to see Heitman was the first to dive onto it. As he caught holding the ball, umpire says no, I'll ball it up. And again, a good pack, about 12 players or so, another 10 or so then a ring around a bit further out.
Real old-fashioned footy too, one-on-one everywhere. It is a
scrum right now. Oscar Clark momentarily had it. Goodwood Saints played, and he's tackled by about 3 opponents. 2.5 gone. No addition to the three-quarter time score.
I'd like to see Tom Anderson go to that wing out the far side where the ball seems to be, because he has a knack of being able to get on and set up some good footy.
I think that was Heitman or Lobby who wanted to take on the Prince's defence, was caught holding the ball. And from the back pocket, Prince has a chance to relieve some pressure.
Ooh.
Not for too much longer. It spilled out a whole bunch of players. You can see them diving on top of each other quite desperately.
Well, this is similar to the first quarter, what we got. That one's unfortunately gone out in the fall, but their pressure is much better, Goodwood Saints, early this quarter. Now a rare opportunity for Prince Alfred. They go around the corner. Blessing, as he did in the first quarter, controlling the game. Need to get the ball out into space over here. He's got a chance now to go to Josh Slape. He goes back, the blend on the mark, falls over, allows Slape a little bit of extra time. He goes to Angus Rana, and he's fallen over as well now, and the players are calling for holding the ball. Look at the numbers
Not sure
around the
he
ball.
had it there for a sec.
This is where Carter might have to try and push the ball out into some space with a big hit. Neil's back on the ground though. He's come from nowhere. Don't know where he was, but he's back. Maybe he just had to do something at three-quarter time that... it's a free
Because
kick.
just take an extra break and then a strong run home, and this is a big kick. The captain, oh no, thought Housebow was taking the kick, but it's not. It's one of the Slate brothers, I think, or is it Burgess?
It's not Burgess.
Someone with a fairly... It might be Anderson.
No, not Anderson.
No, it is Burgess.
Burgess, is it? Yeah. Oh! And
Probably doesn't want us to get the name
he
right.
doesn't want to be identified. Yeah, you're right, Phil. Burgess it was. Good pick. You can't read his number at all.
Trucks go to it. Carter. Really, it's just ball lands in the slot. Player decides to touch it, and three opponents decide to tackle him.
So even now that the rucks are a little bit more aligned size-wise, this is where I'd like to see both sides trying to engage a second jumper at the restart. Burgess has been pushed over, but doesn't matter because Prince Alfred have kicked it straight out on the fall. That was McNamara, I reckon. Lockie McNamara, unusual for his talent.
Yeah, in this league, they're a waste because there is no last disposal rule. You put it in play, and it's good possession.
Dropped it. Around the corner. Whiteman.
Yeah.
No, it's
Lowby.
Lowby,
Lowby's a bit of a go-getter, but he's still working on his execution, I think.
Yeah, he's under a fair bit of pressure and a fair bit of mud there.
Yeah.
But look, it's still, what are we, how far in are we? 6 minutes?
6 minutes in.
And it hasn't come out of the Goodwood Saints forward 50, really, has it?
No, they've locked it up, but can they score? Off some hands. Now Prince is under pressure. Burgess comes in with a hot tackle. Well, he got hard tackled. You really can't tell. There's a ball in there somewhere.
Yeah.
No, Burgess had it. He was tackled.
Have to get Craig Scott to get these windows clean the next time we come here. It's hard to see through the windows, Scotty.
We've just got the sun reflecting on that. Is another clearance kick. This one will stay inbound. Bartlett with the tap, and eventually that's a good win. Oh no, tapped into play. Prince's kick it forward. This is the furthest defender of the lot. Is in trouble. And if there was deliberate, and that was a Josh Slape, if there was deliberate in this league,
Yeah.
that might have been given some consideration.
You would have seen 30 today if that was the rule was applied.
Yeah.
Players playing to the rules of the competition, which is smart footy.
That's it.
So boundary throw in. Carter hits it forward with the left. Need to take it cleanly. They can't, which is tough. Last and first there for Prince Alfred. Goodwood Saints, though, they're out now through Slape on the far side with a bit of space. Looks like Ollie Johnson. Not sure if it is. Coming back onto the left foot. Couldn't get purchase. It wasn't. It was Reece Slape, I think, around the corner. Now they come at it again. Oh, he's caught one real nasty one in the head. The umpire didn't see it. He's still down, that Goodwood Saints player. Hopefully he's okay because he hasn't moved. And as the ball trickles out of bounds, not sure that anyone saw that, but I saw that.
Anthony Scara, who's been, I'm sure he's been up in and under a lot today.
Yeah, been difficult to see, but that certainly woke him up.
So the stoppage, 60 out. As mentioned, no score of significance in this final quarter, which suits Prince Alfred just fine. They got Glenunga, the Rams, breathing down their neck, and they've actually got a date with Glenunga to see out the minor round next week That may
be our game.
Maybe our broadcast game, to be decided. A Prince's win here would still give them that one-game buffer for the critical third spot.
So as Lambo's mentioned, it's not a game of tactics so much as it is a game of just desire and grunt under these conditions. And Goodwood Saints are providing the grunt at the moment. There's no problems with that. They just need a little bit better reward for effort. They're locked inside again. They're forward 50. They're on 4 goals, 7. If they can get it to 5-7, all of a sudden Prince Alfred will be under the pump. No second jumper. Ball falls to the ground. Jolly grabs it for Prince Alfred. Handballs it forward. Blessing for Goodwood Saints is there. McNamara has swapped wings. Now it's Larson. And good heavens, the man who deserves more money today than anyone else is the boundary umpire on the far side of the ground.
Indeed. Thankfully, I think they do switch over at half-time.
Right, good.
So, as do the goal umpires. So, wipes the football, that's pretty important. Sets and delivers.
Second jumper, see that?
I was about to say, there's a third man up.
Yep, nice.
Slate and Goodwood have it.
And he's the perfect one for it because he's got a very good aerial game. He'd be the player I'd be bringing up to every contest, even though Carter's clearly winning the ruck.
Yeah.
Here's the chance now, Goodwood Saints. Sorry, Phil.
Bauer slipped. The kick was from Mason Ellis. They got numbers here, and just as Will Clark was about to have a look at goal and maybe put it on the boot.
No sense of fear to the umpire.
It's a free kick to Trengove.
Tony Simons, no sense of theatre.
It's there. Some shadows now across the ground as the sun starts towards its setting pattern, and there's some large trees casting their shadows down that end. Yeah, the grandstand sort of going out towards the centre square area. How long has it been in this part of the field for, Jacko?
How long is a piece of string, Phil?
Well, the quarter's gone 10 minutes. I guess that's the maximum length. It just feels like it's been
twice its half length.
Maybe 8.5 of the 10.5 minutes it's been in Goodwood's forward third.
So no score, no goal at all for the first. Would you say how many minutes in are we?
10.5.
10, yeah, which doesn't bode well for Goody Saints. I mean, if it was dry, if the deck was dry, I'd say, yeah, they could get a bit of momentum here, but 14 points seems a stretch. As Prince Alfred now, for one of the rare times this quarter, go forward. They can't take the mark. Under a bit of heat, Goodwood Saints, although they still retain possession. Here's an opportunity, almost takes them the mark. Goodwood Saints have all the answers though. Now they come back at him, Prince Alfred, courtesy of Will Charlton. And Fraser Goods there for Goodwood Saints, lays the ball back to umpire Tony Simons, who's working both ends of the ground. Carter slaps it out into space.
In the end, that was reasonably good work by Whitelock, who shepherded off a player, then went and got the ball himself before Trengove.
I think it might be Scar, actually, mate.
Yeah, I think Scar, we said hasn't been called much because his number's been pretty muddied. So now it's Carter is still going there with Neil. Lauby tackled straight away, crudely by Buckham, says the umpire. Lauby's off. Not sure he went over the mark there. Umpire said, 25 metres.
Yeah.
Okay. Lauby's up and at him quickly. There's got to be a sense of urgency in the Goodwood camp, you would think.
I think the other thing is, Phil, they can't go so close to the boundary lines. They've got to try and play the corridor a bit, and that's going to give you, A, your closest route to goal, but B, your best chance of scoring a goal. So, I'm sure Luke Donaldson would have drummed that into them. The corridor is where they need to be this quarter.
Carter tap to himself, got the kick away, and that's a mark. All right, 75 metres out. Ollie Johnson looks up, goes into the green pocket, nice lead, and through hands, but still the take by Kirk, his kick falls well short. There a chance here, the Saints. How's Bauer?
Yes,
he's the man, the captain kicks a captain's goal from 5 metres out straight in front, and gee, that was like pulling teeth. But Goody Saints have that critical first goal of the final quarter. As we look at the Simon Black Academy replay, juggled once, got around. There was a desperate dive from some Prince's defender that missed.
I could tell from Father Christmas behind the goals there for Goodwood Saints supporter with the blue shirt and the Christmas beard. Watch him. He's the one that made it obvious. Oh, we've just shut us up short.
That's
there.
all right. We got a good look at the replay. Thank you, Mr. Producer. So here we go. 5-7, 7-5. Sip and Save scoreboard. 1 hour delivery, 7 days a week. Well, there's time enough, if good enough, Jacko, now that we're back within 2 goals.
Yeah, 10-point margin. Certainly there's enough time. If they continue to attack the forward front half of the ground like they have for the first 10 minutes. Neil's up early. Carter takes his own ball, gets it on the boot quickly. Watch the numbers come now for Prince Alfred. Quickly they get it out of their defensive 50. They're here though, Goodwood Saints. They've got numbers. They're coming. They're coming. Angus Rana brings it to ground. Swooped on by Prince Alfred, however, and look at the wall behind the ball for Goodwood Saints. Just got it on quickly there. They're playing on. I think they're actually rushing a little bit too much here. They could be, now that the margin's closed to 10 points, they can afford to be a little bit more composed. At 16 points, you almost had to be kamikaze and going through the middle. But there's enough time now at 10 points. Work your way when you got it so cleanly. Work your way from one player to the next.
So this is Hayden Jolly. His kick. Carter there in front of Neil. Gets the first thump. Pitt comes over to lay the tackle. But Goody Saints are winning the grunt at the moment. And they're getting some clunks as well. Mason Ellis going forward. This is to Rana. Rana takes his time, assesses some options. He went right, he went left.
Too slow.
Umpire's going to say play on any tick. Eventually he goes with the kick to the top of the square. Exactly where you probably want to put it if you can't make the distance. McNamara is there. He sees the kids under the tree by the tennis club. Sees that as a safe haven. And that's where he sends it for the throw-in. But still inside 50 for Goodwood Saints, who by mine have kicked the last 3 goals.
Yeah, so Rana coming out to take the ruck work for Goodwood Saints against Jordan Neal. No one able to get clear purchase on the ball. Blessing there for Goodwood Saints on the bottom of this pack. Pushes the ball out towards Rana. He's seized upon. Plenty of numbers around the ball. Like the look of Goodwood Saints back behind the footy. So even if Prince Alfred get it, they're a chance.
They throw it up. No one could get the ruck tap on that occasion. A lot of players now under the dark shade looking reasonably familiar. Doward takes it, sees it out of bounds, another throw in. So probably we've got at least 10 minutes of game time left. Plenty of time for Goodwood to find the 2 goals. Trying to get some reward from a mountain of forward 50 entries. Favretto. Pitt tackles him. Rana about to have a kick from the boundary, but it's going to go to Jolly. He's actually got some mud on his shorts now. Jacko, you'd be happy.
Yeah, I've not been critical of Jolly's shorts today. It's more been Hugo Kelly and Tommy Bartlett, but I think they're both sufficiently dirty now. Their mums will require a whirlpool as Prince Alfred go out the far side with a bit of length. Speak of that man, Hugo Kelly. Interested to see if he can play. He's a big lump of a lad, isn't he? Whether he can play in the ruck or just plays key forward. Tommy Lynch, haven't seen a lot of him today, but could equally say the same thing about Kelly, and if that's the case, I guess as a defender you take home the spoils. Carter, he's trying to win himself another pair of Archie thongs too, the way he's attacking this contest.
Yes, we've got to start thinking about that now.
Yes, I am devoid of thoughts. Carter lays it back, and I'll tell you what.
You want to let Lambo decide this week?
Jordan Neal is hurt in the ruckfield. Just keep your eye on him. He's bent over at the waist.
And he was a late entrant to the final quarter as well.
He's making his way towards the bench, I reckon, Phil, is he?
Nah, he's just trying to run it
winded.
off.
Okay.
The kick down the outer side. Waiting for it to come free in some sort. They've got a run on here on the outside. I think that's Trengo.
Oh, wow.
There's the head pass.
Wow.
And Bartlett is the finisher.
Of course he is.
That
His
was
third.
real quick movement. His third. He's been a difference, the forward target. There's your settler. Game winner? Quite possibly.
Yeah.
As you can see, the penetrating kick. Well positioned. Prince Alfred there with numbers. And Bartlett, he's still got the speed. kept up with that very nicely.
He's also got the craft. Reece Slape probably had to go at that ball in the airfield, but gee, just the fact that he didn't make contact at all with the footy allowed it to get over the back, and good night Dick, or Tommy Bartlett instead of Dick. And as you mentioned, that probably is the sealer. They'll go back with one behind the footy now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we've still got a one-on-one game all over the field. If I was Prince Alfred, I'd be locking an extra player back there and running shorter in the front half of the ground. But
3 goals in 10 minutes, a lot harder than 2 in 15 as it was before. Levi is trying very hard to get that. Levi Elms very hard to pick up that ball. The ball would not cooperate. And neither will the umpire holding the ball. I'll give you A for effort, but not much for application. And the 25. Now, this is where it hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to know when to... You've got to know when to hold them.
Is this Pitt?
It is indeed.
So right where the centre circle and the 50-metre... Centre square, sorry, and the 50-metre arc pretty much meet on the smaller ovals. Pitt to the hot spot. And to be honest, even if they don't score, having it down this end is a big winner. More time you can take off the clock. Oh, that's Charlton playing for the free. No one was buying, though.
Invaluable experience for both sides today, Phil. We could well have a final series marred by rain and heavy grounds. Norwood Oval will be hosting the Div 1 Grand and Prelims, and obviously the rest of the finals will be determined by who is on top.
Yeah.
So Goodwood Saints
and who is authorised.
Yeah.
Who's able to host them. Not everybody can.
Prince Alfred can't, of course.
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's not either.
I don't. Well, they can't have them at Caterham. They've had them at Theberton in years gone past.
Right.
Or Adelaide Uni, I think they had one. Or Prince Alfred had it. Anyway, that will sort itself out in due course. Right now, there's a footy game to win. What? Kirk did well. Thought he was Gonski. He's got it to Ellis, to Johnson. Some quick sideways movement by the Saints.
Nice play.
Frees up a player in Anderson. Too far out to score, you would think. Jolly on the mark. Anderson, the worm burner kick, does his forward no favour. And that spills out of bounds.
Well, I asked for Anderson to get out on that far wing, and that's where he is now, Phil, and that could have been really dangerous if he'd been able to hit the kick. His ability to find space is terrific. Just needed to nail that last kick, and that probably would have been a contender for the Simon Black Academy play of the day.
Yeah, we're going to have to work these out, Jacko, at the 21-minute mark.
Right.
So you pick your player, and then I'll pick the play, and then you can pick the team man. Of course, we do thank New Balance, Dartfish, Beanie, Powerade, Archie Sandals, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen prize provider. So I'll do the play of the game, you do the player.
Well, that's going to determine...
Yeah, so you get first preference by
right.
choosing the player. And then I'll pick a play depending on who you don't pick. If that makes sense.
Yep.
And the team man, well, that's an open slather. Back to here. They're going to get these down to Lambo before he panics.
So that's yours I'm picking for you. So
okay, Craig Pitt for the...
Player of the day for that goal.
Yep.
That makes Tom Bartlett.
The team man or the player?
They only want to get more than one goal?
At the moment, yeah, he's got 3, hasn't he? Okay, Anderson has it. How many players can you fit in a goal square? Far out. Can someone get the Guinness Book of Records on that? Kick towards the boundary. Prince Alfred, Goodwood are asking questions, Jacko. Prince Alfred seemed to have all the answers, and you just have one to come up with. Who is our best player today?
Very, very difficult decision.
Who are you thinking? Who's in the mix?
Mackenzie Slee, perhaps. Craig Pitt was. Chris Curran. Buckham was bits and pieces.
All right, Larson been amongst them as well. He's got the ball.
Hayden Jolly's been pretty serviceable, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Not in it for you?
Oh, look, I've got a problem with Hayden Jolly. Is that I've got a very high standard of expectation for Mr. Jolly.
I'm going to change that around, then I'm going to make that Tom Bartlett.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That makes it easier for me to
find. I'd say
find
Bartlett would have been Buckham, hand pass across into some space. Lynch sort of tackled by Kelly without having it. Umpire didn't see it. Happy to say my ball. 23 minutes. This one looks done and dusted. So it won't impact the ladder. Port District were leading Rocks pretty comfortably. Goodwood Saints would still sit in second, even with the loss. Prince Alfred would move to a game of second. And Glenunga, who were leading Old Ignatius pretty comfortably, would still sit in fourth unless the percentages radically change, and I can confirm that once I've got some final scores.
Curran or Doward? Look after your
Curran,
mates. Curran?
if you're asking me.
Well, that was not easy. So, we had a boundary throw-in. It's the wrong end of the ground if you're a Goodwood Saints supporter. Carter goes with the left hand, hits it forward, it just drops in front of him. Ollie Johnson's there, Trengove there for Prince Alfred, ends up with a footy. The umpire says I'll have another crack at it. 18, nearly 19 minutes gone. New over the top this time, does it well, hits it to space. Goody Saints come at it first, and it was a nice attack on the footy, but equally as good was the tackle, but a really good approach by Fraser Goods. So time marching ever so slowly for Prince Alfred, and for Goodwood Saints it's fast coming to a run. They challenged, which is a really good sign, and give Luke Donaldson some real heart, knowing that really just the second quarter where they just took the foot off the gas, and well, whether they took the foot off or whether Prince Alfred just got it better around the stoppage. So Neil now gives it to Buckham. He's tackled as he kicks it. Now we're in the back pocket. Plenty of stacks on this ball. Stacks on the ball, stacks on the contest, whatever it is, it's a ball up. Plenty of numbers around the ball. Craig Pitt done a good job around the ball today. Hard to pick who's the best on baller today. Mentioned that Jolly's had his moments for Prince Alfred, as has Trengove, but a free kick here going Prince Alfred's way, and it may well be Sam Buckham with the ball. Spent a bit of time at Norwood Footy Club. Looks a little bit like Trengove, straight back. It is Sam Buckham. He'll have some nice green grass to work his way through. Distance won't be a problem. He's taking his time, and why wouldn't you? There's 20 and a half minutes gone. Probably all over for Goodwood Saints, but this will certainly be the nail if he can keep it online. I give him a real good chance from here. Sam Buckham, he let me down. One behind.
Hey, go away. You've been putting players off again.
Yes. Well, I thought he had some nice green grass to work through there.
And it's quite amazing. There's that huge puddle I've been looking at all game, and nobody's gone through it.
Yeah.
Incredible. Anyway, Lambo's happy. He's got his prizes. He'll be ready to do the interviews post-match.
Oh, how's that kick?
Huge kick. That's one way to show some urgency. He had a little bit of a bump by Kirk.
Big hit on Larson. I think they've been wanting to get him, the Goodwood Saints boys, and they got him right on the final siren.
Yeah, and he's going to take a while to get up, I think. Not sure there was anything particularly bad about the bump. It was just a little bit off the ball. I mean, the ball was in the vicinity. It wasn't like sniper.
Oh, it was two players going at each other, really.
One came off a little bit better than the other.
So worrying signs, Ben Hellsbauer, in his 150, is limping noticeably on that left leg, knee heavily strapped. They also lost Jack Carter with what appeared to be a driver injury. And, for Prince Alfred, the big news for the Prince Alfred was they lost their captain, Cameron Giles, with a nasty hamstring injury just before half-time, wasn't it, Phil?
Three-quarter.
Three-quarter, was it?
Yeah, and look, that's going to be...
No, it was half-time.
Was half-time? Oh, yes, it was. Sorry, my apologies.
And doesn't look like he'll...
that might be season.
He'll come back.
Yeah. That is something both teams, with the eye towards the finals, both having qualified for it, would not want to see. Real war of attrition out there today. Final score on the Sip and Save scoreboard, Prince Alfred 8-6-54, Goodwood Saints 5-7-37. The final margin 17 points, which I reckon is pretty fair indication of how this game went.
Yeah, look, I don't think either side, or certainly Goodwood Saints, don't walk away, demoralised after today. They know that certainly for a fair percentage of the game they were in the contest. So we understand there's a fair chance that conditions will be better come finals time, a little bit warmer weather perhaps, some bigger ground, so that there's nothing to be too alarmed about. And we said before the game, well certainly I said before the game, for me they're firming as the premiership favourites, Prince Alfred, and I'm going to stick with that. I think their side's going to look really balanced once those players that were missing today come in as well. Obviously Giles is a big blow, but they look in cherry ripe form to go back to back. Prince Alfred looks like we're going to have a guard of honour again, are we? I'm not
Might
sure.
be for
Not for Ben Holzbauer's 150th, I wouldn't have thought. No, he's making his way off the ground now.
They just want to see who Lambo gives the prizes.
Of course, they're all gathering around Lambo. You know, Tommy Bartlett will be a popular choice, as is Chris Curran. And he looks like he's got Craig Pitt with him. I don't remember. Oh, yes, and we had Pretty. Where's Bartlett? Bartlett's not there. He hasn't worked that one out yet, Lambo. Look, he's trying to find Tommy Bartlett. He's sneaking at the back with his white shorts. Now he's been recognised. Tommy going, cut it out, you're kidding me. Only had 3 kicks. Well, Tommy, you're right. You only had 3 kicks. You're very lucky, very lucky. It was just a hard game.
Great day, great game today at Goodie Oval, and we got the guy out of retirement, and he played pretty well today. Young Tommy Bartlett with the new banners best on ground. Well done, Tommy.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. It's good to be out here.
Your best surprise.
Yeah, very surprised. I don't think I deserved it.
There's your voucher and put your beanie on, mate. And we'll have a team photo in a sec, okay? Well done, mate. Yeah, come on, Craig Pitty. For our Simon Blatt Academy player today, well done, Pitty. Wave to the boys up there. Okay. And the Moseley Bar Kitchen Team Player of the Day. Well done, mate. It's good to see all your teammates around you, boys. What's going on?
Couldn't care less, could they?
I don't care, mate. You sing the song when I'm finished, mate. It's not about you, Pitty. It's about Data Fish and all the boys up there. But from behalf of Data Fish and the Adelaide Footy League, well done today, boys. Great win.
Good on you.
Okay, we'll just have a team.
Yes, we'll just correct that for Craig. Dart Fish, it is not Data Fish.
Data Fish.
Yes, there's a little story I heard this week that Neil Craig, Ben Rutten has a book of Craigisms, he calls them, one-liners that Neil Craig. I think we should start a book on Lambisms.
Lampo.
Yeah, and of the mistakes he makes. The trouble is, we'd need more than one. We'd need a book for every game. He's a classic, but anyway.
I think the thing that I like is that the players do enjoy Craig's input into things. And there you have it, folks. That is pretty much day done here. A day where we didn't have any rain at all through the game, which was good for the spectators, of which there were probably more than I thought, given that we had a Crows playing North Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. Got a couple of updates. We have a final score from Payneham, and at 3/4 time, you may remember me saying that Payneham were 4 goals 7 and Tea Tree Gully were 1 goal 11, and Payneham had a 14-point lead. Well, in the final quarter, Tea Tree Gully, with relegation threatening, kicked 3 goals 3, Payneham kicked 2 behinds, and Tea Tree Gully have got up by kicking 4 goals 14 to Payneham 4 goals 9. So that means Tea Tree Gully cannot be relegated and still have a real silly chance of playing finals, because that's the difference we can make.
It vindicates Alex McKay's decision to play himself today. He, unbeknownst to himself initially, broke his neck about 5 or 6 weeks ago in a game against, I can't remember who the game was against now, and finally got a doctor's clearance, but the club weren't too keen on him playing today with only 2 games to go. But he was concerned about the possibility of relegation and the chance to play finals. And it's a game where Alex McKay, these sorts of conditions, would have excelled. So well done to Alex. When I heard his decision, first of all, I thought a poor choice. But in the end, a good decision. Hopefully he got through okay. And a good win for Tea Tree Gully.
We got one other final that's crawled across the line. Port District, I reckon, have got the minor premiership sewn up. They have.
Right.
Port District are minor premiers, 15-14, 104. Ross Trevor 5-3-33. They had a game lead over Goodwood. Goodwood lost. Port District won. 2-game lead, 1 to go. Yeah, I reckon Port District are the minor premiers there, as I'll slot that result
Craig
in.
Lambert from Datafish has made his way upstairs. Datafish.
And for Ross Trevor, after the big win last week, just leaves them slightly vulnerable in case of some sort of a miracle in the final round.
So, in that case, Phil, the live stream next week probably best off going to PAC Glenunga, do you think?
I still think so. Yeah, because Brighton are going to lose to St. Peter's based on the last lot. Tea Tree Gully played Brighton, and that could have been an interesting one because the winner could have been at least at worst percentage out of the 5, but it relied on St. Peter's losing today, and I don't think that's the case.
So is that
just waiting on that final result?
That's at Glenunga too next week, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Bring the van. In fact, I can tell you I have a final from St. Peter's. Spock 11-10-76 have booked a...
You're in the finals.
No, not quite. Tea Tree Gully could still oust them with some massive results, but they're pretty much there. 11-10-76. Brighton are out of finals contention and not 100% out of relegation. They need some big margins, but it was St. Peter's by 36. So the only last result that I have waiting was Glenunga and Old Ignatians. The last score had Glenunga leading 122-47. I think it's fair to say Glenunga have that one won. And the Rams, with that, have booked a finals berth after being promoted last year.
Yeah,
Not a bad effort.
We've been joined by Lambo. Lambo, your thoughts on the game?
First quarter, Jack and Phil, you think how much by Goody Saints, but I think after that first quarter it was all Prince Alfred really. You know why they're right up there as a top team. They won in all the areas, I thought. One man I'm really impressed with, and I actually spoke to a few players after the game, was number 30 for Prince Alfred, Jordan Neal, the young ruckman. He's dominated, and the word has it he's dominated all year, and they will need him to step up because they're going to be short of a ruckman now. But overall, Prince Alfred, better skilled all day in his conditions, and unfortunately it wasn't the Saints' day, and they got a few injury, the Saints too. Yep. So funny game, football boys, and next week we'll see what happens, but no, all the ticks go to Prince Alfred today, and when the captain coach is playing well.
Well, we found it really hard to select the best players today, I've got to say. Lambo, from up here, it was hard to pick Guernsey numbers for a lot of the day as well, but did anyone stand out to you at ground level? Yeah,
number 12, Lachlan McNamara. He played a very good game. Okay. I don't know if you got the stats there, but their assistant coach came up to me straight away when I yelled out to Tommy, you got best on ground, and Tommy 41 cross right, Sean?
Yes.
And he probably slipped the 20 later.
Well, Tommy's a sort of lad who'll buy us a beer, that's why I selected him.
I reckon too, but also Tommy only has to get 5 touches, Jack, and he kicked 3 goals too.
Only player on the ground to get more than 1 goal, Craig.
Yeah, well, I had that down in my stats. What about you, Phil?
Oh, look, Tommy Bartlett, I wanted him for my prize, the play of the day, because he had a beautiful side step that set up a kick to goal. He then had a goal out of the pack out of nothing. Then he had the ceiling goal with that run-on play in the final quarter. So in the moments that mattered, he was in them.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I thought our cameraman did a great job today because the oval's conditions, and the boys did a pretty good job up here, but no. Good to be alive and good to be out, Jacko and Phil.
Alrighty, just before I'll get you guys to think about your final words, just give you the results around. St. Peter's over Brighton, Port District over Ross Trevor, Glenunga over Old Ignatians, and Tea Tree Gully narrowly over Paynham. Here it was Princes over Saints. So Port District on 11 wins are minor premiers. Goodwood Saints and so they're on 13 wins. Goodwood Saints on 11 wins. Prince Alfred and Glenunga are on 10 wins apiece. Percentage Princes 55.2, Glenunga 53.2. St Peter's on 9 wins in the 5. Only Teachery Gully can oust them a win back, but also 7.1%. At this time of the year, you can't pick up 7% this time of the year. Brighton's final campaign is done. They're on 49. Ross Trevor's on 7 wins, 44. Old Ignatians, they got to beat Port Districts next week to avoid relegation, and somehow Ross Trevor and Brighton lose by enough to overcome. Can't see it happening. I think we saw a lot sorted in the games today. Jacko, any final words? Last words?
Just firstly, congratulations to the Goodwood Saints girls, the Division 2, are just marching their way upstairs now, and they look like they're in for a big night, so well done to them. Pity the boys couldn't top it off for you, but I think we saw enough today to say that Prince Alfred are emerging as the favourite for mine anyway. We saw them and Port Districts have a very close game only 3 weeks ago, less than a goal.
And that was without Tommy Bartlett.
That's without Tommy Bartlett. That was without a couple of others that were playing in the SANFL. Her didn't play, so... but in saying that, Goodwood Saints not too far off the pace, and as Lambo mentioned, injuries may well play a part.
And Lambo, any final words as we've lost your microphone?
Look, footy was a winner today. Conditions, love it. Goody Saints, we'll see if they can come back. But they were playing with something special today, and for Tawny, so all our love and care goes out to Tawny's family, mate.
That's a good final word, I think, to leave us on. Don't forget, all the results, Sunday Mail tomorrow, the weekend wrap. Thanks to CMAS Clinical Research, the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page. Our sponsors, Banner Crew, Buddy Bet, Sip and Save, Wakefield Sports Clinic, Sportal, our new sponsor, Police Credit Union, Economy Central Market, Salmon Black Academy, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie Sandals, New Balance, Powerade, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, CMAS Clinical Research. Where do they get all these sponsors from? And the Mostly Fiery Kitchen. Next week's broadcast, stay tuned. I reckon we might be at Glenunga when they play Prince Alfred. Thanks to Colin, our producer, Lee, and our cameraman, of course, Jacko and Lambo. This is Phil Hurton saying good night from the Goodwood Oval.